Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Alumni Field here at Carol Hutchins Stadium. It's a, to be honest, rather gloomy Friday evening, but we have a great game ahead of us. Your Michigan Wolverines against the number 21 Northwestern Wildcats. I'm Kendall Spencer. Joining me is William Gregory. Will, how you feeling?
Pretty good, but like you said, it's definitely a gloomy day out. But with baseball going on across the diamond, we can see and look in against the Wolverines game against Michigan State. It's a good day for hitting a ball with a bat.
It's also a good day to be in the press box because I don't have to wear a jacket. Wolverines coming off a win against Michigan State earlier this week. We've got good weekend series ahead of us. As we previously mentioned, Northwestern is ranked. Tell me a bit more about them.
Well, they're at the top of the Big Ten Conference, 13-1 in conference play, only that one conference loss. They're 28-9 overall. They've got some talented hitters, talented pitching. Danielle Williams is the starter today, the left-hander. Skylar Shellmeyer leads off, the center fielder. She hits for a .354 average, a .407 slug, and she's stolen 14 bases, only been caught 4 times. They got a good balance of players hitting for average, good pitching, good defense. They're an all-around team, and that's why they're ranked, and they're the best team in the Big Ten.
Lauren Durkowski on the mound for the Wolverines, and we'll get things started here. First pitch, ball low. Catcher asking for some verification on that one. I do believe it was low, not outside. 1-0 count to start this at bat. Next pitch higher up, but we got another ball. Gonna say that one was outside. 2-0. That one in the dirt. 3-0 count to start this first at bat.
And Shellmeyer's just sitting back, letting the balls roll in. She's drawn 8 walks this season, been hit by a pitch once. She comes up with a slap hitting approach. That's why she's hitting well above 300 in the leadoff spot.
That one right down the middle for strike 1.
And it's not often you see hitters swing the 3-0 count, just trying to draw the walk there. And Durkowski easily able to get that ball in there and get a strike.
They're going to call that ball 4 low, and this game gets started with a walk for Shellmeyer. Maeve Nelson, the shortstop for the Wildcats, will come up to the plate.
And Durkowski, who came off of 2 no-hitters in last weekend's series against Purdue, is not off to the start she would like. She did allow 5 hits but no runs in the win against Michigan State on Tuesday.
Strike 1, first pitch of the at-bat. Nelson just watched it into the glove of Thole. Lays down a bunt. First baseman's going to field it. They're going to get the out at first, but no out at second.
And Nelson, the graduate student, a curious choice, hitting her second in this lineup. She's a sub-200 batting average, only hitting 190. And to lay down a bunt in her first at-bat is definitely an interesting way to start off your lineup, but with how successful Northwestern's been, not sure they're too upset at that outcome.
Jordan Rudd in the 3 spot. The graduate student. Watch a low, strike 1. As you mentioned about Nelson being a bunt, laying down a bunt, seems like Shellmeyer was also a slap hitter. Didn't get to make contact or anything, but looks like that was the approach they're going with. So interesting 1-2 punch there. Second pitch skied in the air. But it'll be caught, and the throw comes in. No tag. No chance for a tag.
Nice grab made by Ellie Sealer. We'll see her lead off the top of Michigan's first, or the bottom of the first for Michigan, playing left field today.
Now batting the third baseman, Hannah Cady, the junior from Michigan. Ball one outside.
From Clarkston, Michigan. Clarkston athletics have always had a huge presence in Michigan college sports. Foster Loyer, Fletcher Loyer, both star basketball players from that high school. Katie continuing the tradition.
Low strike one. Katie watched it go by.
And Katie was actually named Michigan Miss Softball after her senior year at Clarkston. Northwestern actually has more players from Michigan than the University of Michigan does.
Ball two high. Dole had to get up for it.
And throughout this Northwestern lineup, they're really good at getting on base and drawing walks. We mentioned Nelson only batting 190. She's drawn 20 walks this season, good for a 376 OBP. As Durkowski still can't get under control. It's a 3-1 count now on Katie. She cannot let these runners for Northwestern get easily on base with walks. She needs to let them beat them with their bats.
Some noise from the crowd on that last pitch, wondering where it was. Bit of a tight strike zone so far we've seen here in the top half of this first inning. And they're going to say that was ball four. Outside, there's runners on first and second with first baseman Nikki Cochran.
And Cochran, you could make the case she's the best pure hitter on this team, slashing 356, 456, and 510. The lefty first baseman will have a mound visit here for this at-bat. It's very crucial that Durkowski gets this last out of the top of the first inning.
A little bit of a quick meeting there. Try and clear off any jitters before this at-bat. Ball one, high.
And Cochran, another one of those graduate students in this Northwestern lineup. They're very old. A lot of their top players played in 2017 or 2018 in high school. Cochran with a 1-0.
That'll be strike one.
And it's good for Durkowski to try and find her control again with Cochran batting .444 with runners in scoring position.
Swing and a miss for strike two.
And this entire top of the inning, I think that's the first swing and a miss we've seen. These Northwestern players are patient at the plate. They let the ball come to them. That's why they've drawn 2 walks.
I think you're right.
But Cochran is one of the best hitters on this team. They want to let her swing the bat as much as she would like.
Very similar pitch to the one Cochran just swung at, but she won't bite this time. 2-2. Energy high in the Northwestern dugout. And the half swing will foul it up into third base foul territory, makes the catch, and the Wolverines get out of a tricky situation here in the top half of the first inning.
Yeah, good play by Audrey LeClaire to get off her base and stab that softball for the third out of the inning, get Michigan out of trouble, leave 2 runners on base for Northwestern, and Michigan escapes, allowing no runs in that first inning. They'll come back with Sealer, Blair, and Mattia to start their half of the first.
Danielle Williams on the mound for the Northwestern Wildcats.
And it's interesting, though, Williams is a left-handed pitcher. Michigan, those 3 players that I named that are leading off their lineup are all left-handed batters. You don't normally see teams have the same handedness towards the top of their lineup when they're facing a pitcher, because it's easier for left-handed pitchers to get left-handed batters out. So we'll see how that plays out for Michigan, but it's an interesting choice to start the lineup with 3 lefties. They also have 6 total in the lineup with 2 at the end, so they have a stretch of 5 straight lefties when you go from 8-9 to 1-2-3. Pretty interesting strategy.
Williams has a 2.78 ERA on this season, 11-1. Giving up 66 hits, 37 runs, 33 earned runs, 118 strikeouts. As she'll take her last warm-up pitch, we'll get Sealer to start off the bottom half of this inning.
And Iowa won that game, which is Northwestern's only conference loss.
First pitch, strike. Swung on for the second pitch by Sealer. Aired, caught by the left fielder. Out number 1.
And I don't think we'll see the same level of patience from Michigan's hitters that we will from Northwestern. The Wildcats lineup is just stacked with talent from top to bottom. The Wolverines placing their top OBP hitters towards the beginning of their lineup, and it trends down closer around 300 as it goes on.
Lexi Blair, the center fielder, takes ball 1 low. Tries to lay a bunt down, but it'll foul straight behind her.
And Blair, the senior, playing center field today, is a very similar profile to Michigan baseball player who just got drafted by the Oakland A's last year, Clark Elliott. She can be a menace on the base paths, hits for good contact, draws some walks. Probably the best complete hitter on the Wolverines this year.
High, ball 2, 2-1 count. Rest in peace to the Oakland A's.
Going to Las Vegas, unfortunately. I don't think the Oakland fans deserve that, and I don't think the Vegas fans deserved another professional sports team. But
nobody
that's
deserves
the way
it.
That it goes.
Tough call there for ball 3. Like I mentioned, we've got a pretty tight strike zone so far early on in this game, especially when it comes to inside-outside.
And Blair tends to always put the ball in play. Only 6 walks drawn and 9 strikeouts.
She'll foul down the first base line.
Now faces a full count. She also has 5 hit by pitches, which is third in Michigan's starting lineup today. Definitely somebody who crowds the plate, puts their offensive needs pretty forward.
Full count. She launches one, but the diving catch dropped. And she'll slide safe into third as the ball is dropped. She'll lead this game off, or she'll lead this inning off with Michigan's first base runner.
And Kelsey Nader in right field almost made a spectacular diving catch to rob Blair of that hit. They will score a double and not an error. That was a very tough play for Nader to make.
Would have been a highlight reel catch.
Definitely, and I am surprised that they didn't score an error because most of the time, at least in baseball, when you make contact with the ball in the outfield and you fail to catch it, they call it an error. But it'll go down as a double for Lexi Blair, her 12th of the season, and she has now doubled up the next closest player, Ellie Mataya and Kiki Thole, who both have 6 doubles on the season.
Ellie Mataya now batting. She'll watch a high ball 1. Just something I thought was interesting. We have in this lineup Ellie, and Ella. Must get a little confusing. They're going to call that strike one, though it may have been a bit outside. But I'm not an umpire. Swinging, fouled back into and out of the stadium.
Now,
1-2.
it's interesting. Lexi Blair, standing at second base, is perfect. 11 for 11 on stolen base attempts this season. So we could see her try and make a run for third, although the infield is playing close to the bag.
Right on it, but foul for Mattia. 1-2.
And Blair is getting a huge lead off of second base as soon as the pitch is thrown. So if Mattia takes a pitch, although it is a 1-2 count right now, so I'd be surprised, might see Blair off and running.
Ball in the dirt.
She doesn't go there. The ball doesn't make it to the backstop.
2-2. One out here in the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 is our score. Grounded right to the first baseman. Get the out there. But Blair will advance to third. Have a chance to drive in the first run of the game. Kiki Thole, the catcher.
And Thole, a big power hitter, probably the best all-around power hitter on the Wolverines this season. 7 home runs, slugging .523, which is nearly 100 more points than the closest batter, Lexi Blair. So you're confident that Thole could be able to drive in the runner from third here. Also 30 RBI on the season from the cleanup spot.
Little half swing on the first pitch. Wouldn't matter. That was going to be a strike anyway.
Yeah, that pitch was located in the zone. Thole did a good job on the check swing, keeping it from going across her body.
Outside, ball one. Close, but they're going to call that ball two.
And interesting, we have Thole marked, or excuse me, she's the first right-handed hitter today for Michigan, so seeking to take advantage of that handedness against the left-handed Williams.
Ball three, inside on Thole. Umpire very hesitant to give any strike calls on that side of the plate.
3-1 count, big opportunity for Thole to take a big hack and send the runner home.
Right on it, but foul. Full count.
Does swing on that 3-1 pitch, makes it full. And Blair standing at second. Michigan could do well to get the first run of the ball game here.
Swung on, foul down the third base side. Ball four low. She'll advance to first, and we'll move to Melina Livingston.
And obviously you take the walk there, but Thole, being Michigan's most dangerous power threat, brings up Melina Livingston, who Northwestern's kind of gotten through the dangerous first 4 batters in the lineup for Michigan. It'll be Livingston, Langford, Carcaboro, LeClaire, and McVeigh afterwards. But gotten out Sealer, Blair, Mattia, and Thole on base, but with 2 outs. We'll see what Melina does.
Ball one. Thole still on first. Swinging, but a bit too much on it. The catch will be made by the center fielder, And that'll end this first inning 0-0.
And if Livingston could have hit that to one of the gaps, it would have sent the runners home, but instead goes right to the center fielder, Shellmeyer, for the Wildcats. Ends the inning. And just like the Wildcats, Michigan retires the inning, leaving 2 runners on base.
Only 1 hit so far this first inning, and we'll have Zadak, the left fielder for the Wildcats, to start off the second. This is the first of a 3-game series against Northwestern. They'll play at 2 p.m. tomorrow and noon on Sunday. I will also be at that game, in case you care. Doing my grand return to softball today and then my grand finale on Sunday.
Well, this is my only one this year, and tomorrow's my only baseball broadcast this year. That's the result of getting to go to Tampa. I had most of my broadcasts that weekend, but had to pawn them off to some lucky people so I could go down to Florida instead.
I didn't go to Florida, and I still got 2, so I'm sensing a conspiracy.
In the game going on at Ray Fisher Stadium, Michigan State down 3-5 to your Wolverines in the top of the 9th. 2 outs, and Mitch Jebb looks like he just grounded out, and that'll do it. Game's over. Jebb, actually a really highly touted MLB draft prospect. Probably you will see him going on the second day of the MLB draft in July. But he grounds out, ends the game. Michigan wins their first against Michigan State this weekend, but now we're back just softball for the rest of the day.
Nobody will see him going. Nobody watches the MLB draft.
I do. Well, I watched the first round. He won't go in the first round.
Zadak, start off the second inning. She'll take ball 1 again.
And the left fielder, Zadak, is actually Northwestern's biggest power threat. 8 home runs on the season, slugging .585, batting 6th in the lineup today. Probably because she is right-handed.
Swing and a miss for Zadak, 1-1.
And a trade-off for that big power, Zadak has struck out 28 times this season, which is second to only Maeve Nelson, who has 29 strikeouts. Nobody on Michigan has more than 20.
And that's not going to matter. That one's launched, and it's gone into like the 7th row of the bleachers. That's a home run for Angela Zadak, and it's 1-0 Northwestern here in the top of the second inning. That one was hit hard. I don't have any advanced analysis for that.
Yeah.
That one was
smoked.
smoked.
No, as I said, Zadak is their number 1 power hitter, her 9th homer on the season. Will only raise her slash line. Batting 6th in the lineup, though, has a solo homer that puts the Wildcats up 1. And Durkowski allows her first hit of the ball game, first run over the past 4 starts for her.
Now batting the designated player, Kansas Robinson. She'll take strike 1. We've got 2 people named after states in this game.
And Indiana Langford for Michigan is batting 6th, but Kansas Robinson is batting 7th. So almost some...
Glad to see we're on the same page there.
Nice pair. I was about to say it.
That'll be ball 1, high. Not a big fan of the state of Kansas, must admit.
We are from Missouri, so that makes sense.
That tracks.
Can't say I think about Kansas all that often.
Fouled back for strike 2.
But this upcoming fall, I will be the closest I've ever been to the state of Kansas when I go to Nebraska.
My father is a University of Missouri alum, and therefore we dislike Kansas in this house.
Makes sense.
Ball 2 high. Both pitchers so far have struggled a little bit with consistency. Then again, so is the strike zone. Fouled in the dirt. 2-2.
And Robinson just in front of Kelsey Nader, the only two freshmen in the lineup for the Wildcats. I mentioned already it's a very old team, but Robinson doing a good job to make a name for herself. Pretty good triple slash. Got a chance to get on base here to continue the rally for the Wildcats.
Another foul, that time into the netting above the Northwestern dugout. We remain 2-2.
And it's interesting, why would you name your daughter Kansas when you're from Indianapolis?
Big fan of the band. Huge Carry On My Wayward Son fan.
And name your kid Boston, too.
Ball 3 high.
Robinson drawn 12 walks this season, one of the better OBP merchants in this Wildcats lineup. Has a chance here to get one more.
Full count for Robinson. Fouled back again, right down the middle.
Kiki Thole almost caught it off the rebound off the net. Wouldn't have been an out, but would have looked cool.
And that's what's more important.
Speaking of cool, the kids are running the bases at
Oh,
Fisher
look at 'em
Stadium
go.
across the way.
What if you fell? That would be sad.
Wouldn't be very fun.
They're going to call that fastball outside for ball 4. Like we said, they're not getting anything on that side of the plate.
Third walk of the day issued by Lauren Durkowski, and Thole held that ball in her glove in the strike zone in front of her for a few seconds after the ump made that call. Michigan not liking it. They talk Durkowski and Thole for a moment. Now it's Kelsey Nader with a runner on first.
Looks like she's going to lay a bunt down, but pulls back. Doesn't matter. That's strike 1 anyway. Nader, the freshman from Michigan. She's going to run at it. They're going to say that's not an attempt.
That's crazy. She
That
was ready to bunt and running straight at the pitcher.
I disagree with the call there, but it'll be 1-1. Makes contact with it that time. They're going to say it was fair. They're going to get the out at first.
Foul ball, no.
Never mind.
I was wondering, I think it hit the batter's box rather than going into fair play. And Nader, the freshman from Canton, Michigan, like you said, she's a Michigan native, will get back in the batter's box.
1-2. With Robinson on first. Robinson 1 for 2 with stolen bases. No outs. They're going to count that as attempt. She's going to run, and she's going to get thrown out at second. What a throw from Thole to nab out Robinson.
Great throw by Kiki Thole from the backstop position. Get that extra out, get the runner off base, and Durkowski's got a shot here with Grace Nito coming up to get out of this inning, only allowing that solo homer.
And just like that, there's 2 outs in this inning.
And that'll be the 6th batter caught stealing by Thole on the season, and 15 attempts on her this year. So she does a pretty good job at mowing runners down.
Strike 1 for Nito. In the dirt. They're going to say once again that she was not attempting for it. Giving them a lot of grace.
And Nito, another slap hitter coming up, hitting .327 on the year, kind of acting in a second leadoff role, batting 9th today. Not a big threat for extra bases, so good position in the lineup for her to turn it over if she can get on base.
1-1 all the way back in the box. She'll watch that in low.
And Drukowski really just unable to locate much today. Left that hanger on the home run by Zedak, and she has allowed those 3 walks today as well, and letting hitters get ahead in the count often.
Strike 2. 2-2 count, 2 outs. And number 22 at bat in the second inning. That's a lot of 2s. No attempt again, and they're going to say that that was just a little bit outside once again. Three-two. Just going to slap it over to third. Play made easily by LeClaire. And the Wolverines get out of the inning. 1 run, however, off that towering home run by Zedak as they get ready to try and make it up in the bottom of the second.
So for the Wolverines to start the bottom of their second inning, it'll be Indiana Langford, the second baseman, freshman, batting first. She's slashing 308, 386, 333. Then Riley Carcaboro, the designated player for the Wolverines today. Following that, Audrey LeClaire, and if any of them get on base, Ella McVeigh is hitting 9th at shortstop.
What is Lexi Voss's major? I'm going to say sport management because it's my major.
I don't think it's communication because I'm a communications major and I don't think I've seen her.
BCN.
Ooh.
Fun.
Interesting. Not very fun to me. I'd say it's more interesting.
Anything can be fun if you think of it in the right way. I don't know. I'm over here with my silly little major, so.
Every major is silly. You could wager that a college degree is silly. But
Deep philosophical questions that we are asking to fill the time. But we'll be done with that now because bottom of the second's about to start.
That's why we don't need commercials, folks.
They're going to say she attempted or that it was just a strike on its own. Bit low, but we've had a little more grace with those low calls than we have with on either side of the plate for strike 1. Ball 1. Anything near that right-handed batter's box, they're not getting. Good slap attempt, but the play's made by the second baseman for out number 1.
And like you said, Kendall, Langford putting a good slap attempt on that softball. She was actually coming into that at bat, batting .833 when leading off an inning. So Michigan had a good spot for her to hit. Just got nabbed up by the second baseman, and now Carcaboro, who's more seen as a pitcher or a catcher rather than a hitter, only hitting 167 so far this season, steps up.
Change up there. Little high and couldn't get Carcaboro to bite. Ball 1. Gets her on that one, though. Strike 1, swing and a miss.
Big swing and a miss from Carcaboro, and she does have a big frame. She's a junior. Hasn't hit for power at all this season. 6 hits, none for extra bases.
Ball 2, low and inside.
Also only drawn 3 walks on the season, 14 strikeouts. Has been hit by 8 pitches. Leads the Wolverines. Contributes to her 367 OBP.
Big swing and a miss again Looked like an off speed for 2-2. And she gets her on a changeup in the dirt. They'll make the throw to first. Out number 2.
Yeah, so on a drop third strike, Jordan Rudd, the catcher, throws to first base. Gets out Carcaboro. It's not a play you see messed up very often, but when that drop third strike is not completed for the strikeout, it is often pretty funny.
Senior Audrey LeClaire. Once again, looks like we got some slapping going on. Lots of slapping in this game.
Lots of slap hitting approaches, and LeClaire not necessarily having the greatest season hitting the softball this season. She takes ball 2, but we saw before the game she was kind of acting as the heart and soul of this team. She had a different handshake for every single player on the team as they got announced in the opening lineup. She plays a good third base, completes that left side of the infield along with Ella McVeigh.
Insane memory.
So
many handshakes. She'll actually drop one down that time. She's almost beats out the throw as it was a little in towards the base path. But they'll complete it. That'll be out number 3. And at the end of the second inning, 1-0 Northwestern is our score.
So as Michigan moves to the third inning, they will turn it over. Ella McVeigh, who's a decent hitter in the 9 spot. Both teams employing kind of a second leadoff hitter in the 9 spots in their lineup. Nito, I already mentioned, bats .327. McVeigh, respectable .262 average towards the back of Michigan's lineup. Actually, the 4th best hitter by average for the Wolverines this season. But coming back up for Northwestern is the top of their lineup, Skylar Schellmeyer, who in her last plate appearance, drew a walk. She's batting .377 this season when leading off the inning. An on-base threat, gets on base now 40% of the time, an increase from the .395 OBP that she entered with. So Durkowski, the Wolverines pitcher, needs to locate what she's throwing this inning and avoid runners on base for a very talented and a lineup that would make the Oakland A's proud here for the Wildcats. They all get on base.
A lot of Oakland A's mentions. I bet when you tuned into this, you didn't think that's what you'd be hearing.
I am the type of person that talks about the Oakland A's.
I
have
have been to an Oakland A's game.
Oh, I haven't gone that
Coliseum.
far. I went to a Tampa Bay Rays game about 2 weeks ago. That's as degenerate as I'll get.
Schellmeyer, the center fielder, leading off. Low, ball 1.
And aside from the 1 home run, only 1 hit for both teams. And they're both kind of employing a very small ball approach. Lots of bunts, a lot of slap hits. But the only run, of course, has come from the long ball.
Ball 2.
And Durkowski,
Gonna say that one was outside.
still just unable to locate her pitches in the strike zone, and Northwestern is really willing to be patient and wait till a good pitch comes to them. Already seen Schellmeyer walk today.
Ball 3 low.
We're seeing more fans file in here to Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium after that baseball game has ended. Wolverines will need it down 1-0.
It's going to be ball 4. Low and outside. Schellmeyer will take her base. It's going to be Maeve Nelson.
And I don't recall Schellmeyer swinging it all the last at bat, so Durkowski just giving her anything she wants. A 4-pitch walk, gets Schellmeyer at first again, and we'll see if Nelson, who bunted in her last time up, changes her approach. But she may also wait on 4 straight pitches. She has 20 walks this season.
First pitch swinging, lines up the middle for a single. Got 2 runners on, no outs, with the catcher, Jordan Rudd.
And Nelson, who came into the game batting 190, attempts to swing away on that pitch. Straight up the middle for a single. Advances the runner to second. Northwestern's in business as head coach for your Wolverines, Bonnie Thole, is going to walk up to the pitcher's mound.
We mentioned quick mound visit. Try and get things situated. 4 walks, only 1 strikeout for Durkowski. 46 pitches in the top of the 3rd.
And that's what facing a great team like Northwestern will do to you. I mentioned in the opening that Durkowski last weekend threw 2 no-hitters. And in the game against Michigan State didn't allow a run, but she has been in trouble throughout this game facing a really talented lineup for the Wildcats top to bottom. I think that hit Thole in the knee, maybe the thigh. She's in pain after that pitch came in.
Yeah, fouled, I think. Took a weird angle, so I think it may have just hit the bat.
And I think that ball might have split or something because the umpire came up to the mound and threw it back into the dugout.
Get a moment to get everything situated. Thole seems that was a bad attempt of starting a sentence. Seems okay.
And Rudd, who recorded the first out of the inning, or the second out of the inning, her last time up in the first, has a shot with runners in scoring position, though.
Good off speed from Durkowski for a low strike 2. Haven't seen her use that pitch much.
I think the 0-2 count, we'll see Rudd try and put something into play. It's not often that she strikes out or walks.
Another off speed. That one's a bit outside. Doesn't get Rudd to bite and doesn't get the call either. 1-2. 2 runners on in the top of the 3rd.
And after an 0-2 start to the at-bat, you may see some balls thrown by Lauren Durkowski that are more waste pitches to try and get a swing and a miss.
And she'll get one. Second strikeout.
It was nearly a check swing held up by Rudd, but she went across. Home plate umpire Tyler Barfus appealed to third base umpire Kaylee Young and got that strikeout, first of the game.
Hannah Katie. Watch strike 1 in the glove. Bit low, but again, that off-speed pitch. She's getting that consistently, turn into it a bit more to try and get back in the swing of things here.
And it seems like Durkowski has found something. Katie, who walked in the last at-bat, takes that strike 1. 4 strikes in her last 5 pitches thrown. Now, 5 of 6.
She'll get that second strike call on the fastball outside. 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second. And she'll get strike 3 swinging. Maybe it was the softball.
Possibly, but second strikeout of the game, back-to-back for Durkowski, and now she looks like to have her mojo back, and it's needed.
Knock on wood right now.
Against a lineup as talented as Northwestern.
Nikki Cochran, the first baseman, steps in with 2 outs, and she'll hit one hard, but it's right to the shortstop. Quick little toss, and they'll get out of the inning unscathed. Great recovery there by Durkowski. Hope that she can continue that momentum continuing in this game, but that's the best we've seen her so far.
She looked really good, got a good ground out. Nice play made by McVeigh to Langford. Could have turned 2 if there was less than 2 outs, but the Wolverines will settle to get out of the inning.
starting a conspiracy. It was the softball.
And as I said in the last half inning, Ella McVeigh will lead off for the Wolverines. Good chance for them to turn over, even though they are batting, or they're in the middle of their lefty streak in their lineup. They've got a good chance to get something going here with McVeigh if she's able to turn over to the top of the lineup after getting on base. That'd be a good situation for Michigan.
This is Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Sorry, they're playing Name That Tune.
Come on. Oh, the Name That Tune contestant did not get it.
Wow. To what we got,
Bon Jovi.
it doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. Oakland A's talk and my great singing is what you tuned into this for.
Filling the broadcast with gems.
Last time, my last softball game last year, I talked about Pitch Perfect and robot umps. So this is just staying on theme for me.
Maybe we'll get a possum in the press box, just like at Ring Central Coliseum, where the Oakland A's play their baseball. For the time being, I might just try and fit it into every single thing we talk about. They deserve it. They're still, for right now,
well, they're still the
Oakland.
Oakland A's. McVeigh showing bunt, but she'll slap at it. Skied into short left field for out number 1. Just a bit too much on it. Could have dropped, but stayed in the air just a bit too long.
And Zedak, the left fielder, electing not to wear her visor. I think it's a pretty good move considering it's
what could she not
very gloomy overcast. Well, you only see the center fielder without a visor as well, Shellmeyer. The entire infield has their caps on.
Maybe it's for theme.
Possibly.
Back to the top of the lineup with Sealer. She'll watch low. Ball 1. Durkowski saw a lot of success with that low off speed in that previous half inning. Williams trying it here. Drops a bunt down.
Beautiful. Oh, just
with the
not
arm
in time.
From Rudd. Throws her out. Good bunt attempt. Just a bit too close.
It died right in front of the batter's box, but like you said, Kendall, great throw from Rudd. Retires Sealer. And now Lexi Blair, who had a double her last plate appearance, steps in.
2 quick outs for the Wildcats.
Definitely tough that neither of the Michigan hitters could get on base for Blair, who's a very talented hitter.
First pitch nearly in the dirt at Blair's feet. Ball 1. Strike 1. Right down the middle. Blair watched it into the glove. Like we mentioned, weather kind of miserable here if you're not tuning in from Ann Arbor. It was really nice for about a week and a half, and then
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Well, it was supposed to get up to 63 degrees today, but Apple lied to me. I wouldn't think it got above 50.
Ball 2 high and outside. I think it must have been at like 1 in the morning.
Possibly. Next weekend should be nice, though, but by that time I will not be in Ann Arbor anymore.
I will only be here for a little bit. There a call outside. Strike 2. Have not been seeing a lot of that call, but we've got 2-2 count with 2 outs. Outside. Full count. Check swing. Didn't go. She'll take ball 4 and bring Mattia. Nope, Thole. I don't know where I was.
Oh, it's Mattia.
Oh, it is Mattia? Yeah, it was Mattia.
Only the 7th walk of the year for Blair. Gets on base, and the Wolverines still have a chance to accomplish something this inning and possibly tie the game with the tying runner on first.
First pitch strike. Pretty much right down the middle. Once again, looks like we're going to see some slap hitting here, at least early on in this at-bat. High. Blair's going to go. Ball goes into center field. She'll get a stolen base.
Her 12th of the year remains perfect. Has not been thrown out this season, but that was more of a tough throw from Rudd rather than base running excellence from Blair.
I think she would have been safe. But I guess we'll never know.
Now with the runner in scoring position, Ellie Matayo hits 308 with 2 outs, 310 with runners on base. Has a shot here. I thought Blair was going to go again. She took a huge lead, and I think the catcher, Rudd, identified that was going to throw down to third base if Blair got more than halfway, but she returns to the bag. 2-1 count for Matayo.
High, ball 2. Outside, ball 3. So again, we are not seeing that count. So there's to be some input from Northwestern coach on that one. Was not happy, but we haven't seen that be called consistently this game.
We're getting a lot of mound visits in this game, Kendall. I think Rob Manfred needs to step in and
this game
curtail
is
that.
Actually Rob Manfred's nightmare.
Yeah, only 7 innings, but it's going to take 3 hours.
Long small ball game with 1 home run.
Well, that's the goal of MLB, is because the last game I went to, which was Wednesday, there's 3 home runs and the game ended, I think 2-3. But another chunk of time taken off for a mound visit. With the 3-1 count, 2 outs for Matayo, runner on second.
Ball 4 in the dirt. Runners on first and second with 2 outs for Thole, and I'm right that time.
And it's a big at-bat for Kiki Thole. I've already mentioned her last time up that she is the best power hitter, and really the only power hitter on the Wolverines this season. Nobody else has more home runs than 2, and she has 7.
Got to get those shin guards off.
And with 2 outs, she was ready to catch, but now she's got to come up. It's always a tough situation for a catcher who has to go out and play behind the plate next inning, but
and
having to hit.
Not movement in the bullpen, but movement to the bullpen. Someone headed out there with jacket on, so I couldn't see a number. As Williams.
I saw number 2.
Ball 1.
Could be Lauren Saborski.
How did you see a 2?
I thought I saw it too.
I think you were
Or no,
hallucinating.
Saborski's the bullpen catcher. Backup catcher who went to the pen to catch.
In the dirt for ball 2.
Whoever's warming up. Thole 2-0 count, hitters count. Could turn on something here if Williams decides to throw a good pitch to hit, trying to avoid bases loaded situation.
Off speed, a little bit inside, but they'll count it for strike 1.
And I'm surprised that Thole didn't swing at that one. That was a pretty decent pitch to hit. Seems now Williams is playing to get Thole out rather than pitch around her. Thole calls for time. Kiki is 342 with runners in scoring position.
And unfortunately, she hits it, but little hop from the third baseman. It'll end the inning. After 3, it's 1-0 Northwestern.
And a great play made by Hannah Katie. We saw an identical situation in the top of the first when Audrey LeClaire caught a softball in foul territory from her third base position to end the inning. Even though there were 2 runners, 1 on first, 1 on second, Michigan again strands 2 and goes to the 4th, still down 1-0.
The bullpen door is open for Northwestern, but I can't tell what's going on because the walls are too high. Oh, now that everybody's going out there.
Who knows who's going to throw? Oh, no, they're just warming up. See, Bridget Donahue, Lauren Curry, and Ayana Lindsay for Northwestern. Could see them getting warm. Everybody in the bullpen's coming back. Maybe they just did it as a precaution. If Williams had allowed a run in that inning, they were going to pull her, but send everybody back from the bullpen.
Once again, it's a bit chilly, so we got coats on, so cannot see the number.
How about those Michigan parkas? I need one of those. The athletic parkas? They're like $500.
They look so warm.
I know. I have always wanted one, but then I would also be in the position where
that's like wearing an athlete backpack.
Yeah, no, I would look like a Michigan athlete across campus, and I don't think I'd take that trade off for warmth to be kind of a nerd.
To have to explain to people,
I'm
just bought
actually not an
this.
athlete. I'm not even a manager. I'm a loser.
I'm an intern.
Yeah, I'm an intern. Lowly, unpaid intern.
Zdak back up, responsible for this game's sole run on a home run, and she's going to launch one again, but this time it's going to stay inside the park and be caught.
And just a little early on that pitch, looked like for a moment if she had waited just a beat longer, she could have sent it to right center just as she did her last at bat. But it's a fly out, fortunate for the Wolverines to retire Zdak without incident.
Quick first out. Now Kansas Robinson.
Robinson, who walked in her last plate appearance.
Strike one.
And it seems like Drukowski's just pitching better than she was the previous 3 innings.
I'm telling you, it was the ball.
Seems like it.
High ball one. Riser that couldn't get a bite. I need to stop saying that. It's making me hungry.
Yeah, I'm debating what I'm going to have for dinner after this.
Ball 2 in the dirt. Bounce in front of home plate.
What do you think, mac and cheese or tacos?
Mac and cheese.
Leftover tacos, that is.
Mac and cheese.
Tough. I have to eat that taco meat before I go home.
Eat it tomorrow.
For breakfast.
Do it. Good off speed. But they're going to say it's low and that she didn't swing.
And even
makes me sad. That was a good pitch.
Yeah, good pitch location from Drukowski, but Kansas Robinson, the freshman, showing tremendous discipline in this game, looking to draw her second walk.
3-1 is our count. She'll launch one this time. And it's gone. Home run for Kansas Robinson. 2-0 Northwestern, both on solo shots. And that's killer.
Robinson's 3rd home run of the season, and that's what you get when you let a hitter get ahead. 3-1 count. Drukowski forced to throw a ball in the zone to avoid walking Robinson, or at least a good pitch to hit for Robinson to be enticed to swing. And she sends it to left field this time. Previous home run from Zdak was right center. And Northwestern, off the back of 2 solo shots, up 2-0 now.
First pitch swinging. That's going to roll all the way to the wall in right field. It's going to stop at second. That's a double for Nader. And when it rains, it pours.
Kelsey Nader letting a primal scream loose towards the Northwestern fan section, which
Why
is actually
is that
pretty
how you would explain it?
Because that was a prize. She was screaming after hitting that double. Motors into second. She's also the Canton, Michigan native, so I'm sure it feels good to register an extra base hit against a team, a university from your home state of Michigan. As the Northwestern first base coach gives her a glove to protect her hand when sliding.
I never got those. I never slid. I never stole a base. If anyone on these rosters with 0 stolen base attempts, I respect you.
You might compare me to like Alex Avila or something. I wore 13 when I played
Oh,
baseball.
I was like Yachty. I was that slow.
A Gold Glove Hall of Fame catcher. Possibly.
No, just talking about the speed here. Mound visit. After 2 hard hit balls, one a double that rolled all the way to the wall, the other a solo shot for Kansas Robinson. We're going to see a new pitcher. Sorry, I had to check that I understood numbers for a second there, because I thought that too was an 8. It's Jessica LeBeau will come into the game for the Wolverines.
LeBeau, the junior, probably the second best pitcher on the Wolverines staff. A 3.05 ERA. She started 17 games. She's kind of the second starter for Michigan. Emerson Aiken has started a game as well, but it's the 1-2 punch of Durkowski and LeBeau in the starting rotation that has carried them throughout the year. LeBeau only pitched about half the innings that Durkowski has, but she's a good pitcher in her own right. Head coach Bonnie Thole setting her out there for the Wolverines, ostensibly because this is still a 2-0 ball game. It's not out of reach yet for Michigan, although they haven't looked all too good on the offensive side. I think that they have done a commendable job at least limiting the scoring of Northwestern, which is the best team in the Midwest. You look at the softball top 25, all the other teams ranked are either in the Southeast United States or on the West Coast. Northwestern is really the only one in the Big Ten footprint, which makes sense. They're the top team in the Big Ten, but there's not really any other schools in the Northeast or in any other area like that either. Everything's south of the Mason-Dixon line for the most part.
Grace Nito will watch a high ball 1, and that's because it gets cold.
Yeah.
That's so simple.
And Michigan softball has been very good in national competition. As Nito takes ball 2. Michigan baseball has won 2 national championships, but both of those came, I think, before World War II, if I remember correctly, or at least in the same time frame. Baseball and softball are sports where warm weather schools dominate. Football too at this point, with I think 17 of the last 18 national titles coming from the SEC. But I guess Michigan has hockey and basketball.
They'll give her that slightly outside strike 1. 2-1 is our count. 1 out. Puts a slap down. That was a good one. They won't get the out at first as she ran into the first baseman, Livingston.
And the runner scores from third.
And it's 3-0 now.
Tough break for Michigan. It was a very, very good bunt put down by Grace Nito from the 9 spot. And we've seen a number of good bunts in this game, but that's the only one that's worked out so far for either team that scores a run.
And they're sending her back.
Oh, I guess they're going to call
They're
foul.
going to say that it didn't count. That'll take the run off. She's got to go all the way back to second. Nito will return to the box. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We'll see what the
to continue to her at-bat.
Scoring of that was. I didn't see interference.
Question marks. They're just going to put question marks in there. And that's good. What's going to be.
Because if it was catcher interference.
No argument from
the
Northwestern bench, it seems like. Which
maybe
means
it was interference on the base runner Nito, but I think she would be out if she was called for interference.
No attempt, though it seemed like that bat came pretty close to all the way around. 3-2. That third base umpire is pretty hesitant to say anybody has swung. Then a lot of noise in the Northwestern dugout as head coach for the Wolverines talks with the umpire. Not sure about what, but they are talking.
Yeah, and I haven't seen an official scoring for the last play. They just
Because nobody knows what happened.
Center back. Because it was a fair ball. I think it might have been interference or some form of something because the runner's not out. The runner hasn't been awarded a base, so I don't know. We had to take backsies from the umpire in Michigan's last half inning on a bunt that was initially called fair, but then called foul afterwards. But I don't think that last bunt was foul.
They're just being goofy. Just being silly with it. 3-2 count, 1 out. Runner on second. Nito slap it down the third baseline. Foul. And that's an out.
What?
I guess they're going to say it was more of a bunt than a slap.
All right.
2 outs. I'm not complaining, but I still don't know what happened in that at-bat.
And it's good for the Wolverines to get Nito out because she was hitting .385 with runners in scoring position, but it still brings up Skylar Schellmeyer, who is a better hitter in that scenario, hitting .500 with runners in scoring position, .467 with 2 outs in an inning.
Flip a coin. See what happens here. Ball 1. Low, outside, ball 2.
And we'll see if Schellmeyer swings because she's recorded
Schellmeyer
2 walks in this game, and I don't think she swung a single time. She didn't in her second walk, at least.
No swing, Schellmeyer. That's what they call her. They're going to say that's low or outside. Ball 3 either way. Once again, not a very consistent strike zone. I feel like we've seen that be called a strike in previous innings. 3-0 count. They're going to call that one a strike.
Oh. And it isn't the first strike she's seen. She did in the top of the first inning when she led off. She walked on a 3-1 count. Second walk was on a 3-0 count. This time,
another 3-1 count.
And she has not swung a single time.
2 outs, runner on second. No swing again, and that's high. Ball 4. 2 runners on.
And
for Nelson.
Schellmeyer, 8 walks all season, 3 today.
She's collecting them. They told her to get her walks up.
Yeah,
and she said, I will not
get
swing.
on base, as Brad Pitt, playing Billy Beane, general manager of the Oakland A's, would say. She gets on base.
What's the record for most Oakland A's references in a broadcast?
Oh, we probably already hit that.
Strike 1 on an off-speed low.
Just stay on your toes. Those of you in the comment section, I will pull some names out of the hat about the Oakland A's because they've had some weird people play on that team.
Catfish Hunter.
I'm talking about like right now. Guys,
I don't
guys
care.
you've never
That's
heard
the
of.
weirdest
Catfish Hunter's
guy ever.
a great name.
Very high. Ball 2. Told us to get up there to make sure that doesn't hit the backstop and advance the runners.
Raleigh Fingers played for the A's?
Yeah. Are we talking about like most A's references on like a WCBN broadcast?
Well, this is already, yeah.
Because I don't think we're beating the actual Athletics. Swing and a miss for strike 2, 1-2.
Considering how many fans don't go to their games, I wonder if their broadcasts just don't talk about the team at all.
They just it's like me on a broadcast. They just mention anything
it's like
else,
us right now.
Anything else but the game at hand. 1-2 count, 2 outs. She's going to watch strike 3 into the glove. Gets out of the jam. And it remains 2-0 as we head into the bottom of the 4th after a weird situation that do we know what happened yet?
I have not. I think they just
gave
whatever.
up. Question
just
marks.
whatever.
They just put question marks. Something happened.
They do call this strikeout on Nito on that bunt attempt. But that's a pitch. Maeve Nelson down 1-2 in the count. 2 runners on base. A big scenario for her. She had a single in her last time up. You can't stay looking at that pitch for your team leading 30th strikeout of the year. That's almost 1 a game, folks.
The Oakland A's would do that.
The Oakland A's, they just have bad hitters. They don't strike out that often. It's just kind of like weak contact.
You know a lot about the Oakland Athletics. Please
I know a lot
explain.
about baseball. I did see Shintaro Fujinami on a 1-year deal from the Nippon Professional Baseball, the Japan League. He was the starter in the A's game that I've actually been to this year when they played the Rays at Tropicana Field. He got shelled. The Rays won that game 11-0. That was part of their undefeated streak that they had.
I went to an Oakland A's game in 2018. I do not remember the score. I do not remember anything that happened. What
See,
do I
that's-
remember? It was a Bark in the Park night.
That's always great. You need the MLB ballpark app.
And I got...
I keep track of every game that I've been to that I have a record
I
of.
have the ballpark app. I'm not a giant nerd.
I'm a giant nerd. Well, it's better to
I'm
not...
a giant nerd, but in a different way.
Because I have it in spreadsheets, but then it's better to have
God.
it for each ballpark I've been to. I have it recorded in a spreadsheet.
Somebody record that and send it to me on Twitter. I want that
Hey,
for the rest of my life.
it's me and Owen Crane. Milena Livingston.
First pitch swinging, and she'll drive a single between the infielders. Great start to this half inning.
Happy to see Milena get that hit the last softball game I had the opportunity to call. She hit a grand slam. And I have known Milena since we were both little kids, so I was happy to see that. Happy to see her get on base.
Indiana Langford. Maybe we can see another state name home run. That would be great.
Possibly it'd be Langford's first career home run in a Wolverine uniform. I don't know if she's going to do that, though. 'Cause
better time.
She's coming up slap hitting, so.
Slap hit a home run. It could happen. Possibly. Some signs going on. Potentially seeing some sort of hit and run or stolen base or something. Yeah, there was definitely a bunt and run sign there.
Almost popped out to the catcher, too.
Fouled back just a bit out of Rudd's reach. 1-1.
There's the organ. I wish the Wilpon complex used the organ more. It's
You
probably
should send them a note.
It's my favorite part of baseball.
I think if you wrote a really impassioned letter, they would listen.
At the United Center. Oh, I've seen the Red Wings organ and I've seen the Blackhawks organ.
Don't speak of that team on this broadcast.
Well, I don't like them either. I'm a Wings fan, but
Some things are sacred. This
their-
broadcast
their
is
organ,
sacred.
Their organ was cool. I mean, it was also Chicago Bulls organ.
Ball number 2.
I'll speak bad on the United Center. It was not exactly the nicest arena I've been to.
It's just the energy of the
The
Blackhawks.
Chicago Blackhawks?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to just get rid of their captain. It's not often you see
Bunt
that.
down. That's a good bunt. Throw is good, but they'll only get the out at first. Livingston advances to second. 1 out. Langford did her job. That'll bring up Carcaboro, the designated player today.
And Michigan possibly, and I mean, I mentioned this in the open. They've got a lineup full of lefties to get today against a left-handed pitcher. They only have one left-handed batter on the bench. It's Maddie Ramey, the freshman. Jessica LeBeau, who's pitching, bats lefty, but we won't see her in the batter's box. So I wonder, with Carcaboro not being the best hitter in the lineup, the worst average in the starting lineup today. Oh, we do have a pinch hitter. Well, I predicted it. So Maddie Erickson steps in for Riley Carcaboro in a big spot. Milena Livingston at second base. Wolverines yet to score a run today.
First pitch off speed, just a bit inside, strike 1. Beautiful pitch. If I was Erickson, I'd want that back.
And we see Erickson, the freshman from Wilsonville, Oregon, far away from her hometown.
Big swing and a miss on another off speed. 0-2.
And she's registered 21 strikeouts on the year now in an 0-2 hole, only hitting .256 with runners on, 194 with runners in scoring position.
Tiny bit of contact. It'll advance the runner, but now there's 2 outs after the throw is made. Looked real awkward coming off Williams' hands, but gets the job done as LeClaire steps up to bat.
A big spot here, Milena Livingston at third, the graduate student, Audrey LeClaire. We've mentioned the leader of this team, a true fourth-year senior, but 2 of Michigan's veterans have a chance here to get the first run of the ball game for the Wolverines and try and get back into it in the bottom of the fourth.
She'll watch strike one into the glove. 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Since Livingston got on base, it's kind of unlocked something with Williams. She has been firing him in there.
Rough swing there from LeClaire. 0-2. Finds herself once again in a similar hole. Michigan does not want to waste another opportunity with runners in scoring position. Livingston on third. And she'll have a little slap attempt. Nothing doing. And that'll end the inning. 2-0 after 4. Head to the top of the fifth with Rudd, the catcher, batting for Northwestern.
It's a tough spot for Michigan, having their 6, 7, 8 hitters come up to try and score. Livingston, always a tough spot to try and get production from the bottom of your lineup. The Wolverines, yet again, leaving another runner on base. Still no score in the game for them. Only 2 hits, a number of walks, but they got to get it going on offense if they have any hope in this game, as it seems like Danielle Williams is pitching a spectacular one for Northwestern.
Hula hoop relay race.
I saw some, inflated horses at the gate, or that was at the baseball game. I don't know. These fan experience things are always fun to watch.
This was my summer internship, basically, but with a college, wood bat summer league.
The O'Fallon Hoots.
You would be surprised the things you can create. The silliest of ideas. I don't want to answer your question.
No.
Was I a mascot? No comment.
But I might have an unanswerable question. I wanted to see how many Oakland Athletics have played for the O'Fallon
None.
Hoots.
I can tell you now, the team is 3 years old.
Yeah, and it's the Prospect League's kind of like a lower tier.
I love the Hoots. I had a great internship experience, but they are a very young team in middle of nowhere, Missouri.
They don't even have a player with a Wikipedia page. What are we doing here?
Wait, where is he? Where is he? Is he not on the roster? Okay, someone I went to high school with was on the roster.
Well, they cycle it out every so often.
Yeah, but that's clearly from last season. He was on the roster last season. Once again, Rudd trying to maintain any semblance of acting like I'm doing a play-by-play call right now. First pitch, strike. She'll watch it into the glove. Fastball. Four hits for Northwestern, 2 for the Wolverines. Ball one low.
Tough call.
I've seen a lot of great low pitches from the Wolverines.
Thole couldn't frame it, and the ump called it a ball.
1-1.
Nobody liked that.
Audible boos. Ball 2. Bit high, bit outside. At least from my vantage point. I got bad depth perception, so I apologize if this is wrong.
Well, we got a tough angle to see balls and strikes, but we can see that one is high.
Ball 3, 3-1 count. I'm very hungry. It's 7:19. That's a strike. 3-2, full count. Right down the middle on that one. Foul down the first baseline. Keep this at-bat going.
And this is one of the first at-bats for Northwestern that they're not turning on an early pitch or just letting the walk come to them. Rudd really trying to stay alive. She's been one of the more aggressive hitters, a fly out and a K in this game for Northwestern.
There's a bug in here. Fouled back. Caught by Thole for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, it looked like that ended up against the netting, but just barely misses it. And Thole able to retire Rudd, who has been neutralized so far this game. She's one of the Wildcats' more dangerous hitters, batting in that 3 spot. It brings up the cleanup hitter, Hannah Cady. And the Wildcats been slower on offense since their hot start.
As the screen in the outfield said, nice catch. First pitch swinging and fouled back. Looks like there was probably a check swing there, but made contact. Doesn't matter. Strike 1. Good pitch. Once again, though, it's going to be low or outside for ball 1. Fouled way out of the stadium. Someone's car is probably in danger.
This
That's
field isn't
strike
as
2.
bad as the baseball field. The cars are a bit more offset outside of foul territory. In baseball games at Ray Fisher Stadium, you're liable to have a foul ball hit a car every few innings.
Yeah, looking at it, that's pretty bad. Outside, ball 2. Top of the 5th here. That one's launched. What a catch by Sealer to prevent an extra base hit. Nice catch indeed.
Beautiful play, nice jump, hops up close to the wall. It looked like that ball was flying out of the park, but Sealer reaches up the glove with her right hand and catches that softball. Second out of the inning, and Michigan avoids disaster, letting up another extra base hit. They've already allowed 2 home runs in this game. They did not want to allow a double.
Nikki Cochran with 2 outs, nobody on, and she'll watch strike 1 into the glove of Thole.
And those kind of catches inject life into a team. It already seems like on that first strike, Michigan's a little more juiced up after seeing Sealer make that grab. Top of the lineup coming up for them in their half of the inning.
High ball 1.
As we're already in the 5th inning, the top of the 5th, it's crunch time, really, especially for the Wolverines not having scored a run. So plays like that can kind of take momentum away from Northwestern, who's hit those 2 homers.
Another rise ball that rose a bit too much. Ball 2. Fouled, almost severely injured. Just about 1 inch away.
I don't know about severely injured.
That was to the face.
It looked like the chest. It only hit like about halfway up the.
Yeah, but the
dugout
girl is like
thing.
squatting.
Oh, I didn't see her.
Yeah,
I saw the one girl that
she
was
was
standing.
right there when that was hit. Fouled off again. 2-2 remains our count. Yeah, she would have gotten drilled.
Yeah, it's tough.
Another foul, this time straight back. 2-2-2, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Too fast, too furious.
And Cochran, another one of Northwestern's talented hitters that has been held down in this game, just like Rudd. Foul, fly out, and a fielder's choice, both of her plate appearances.
That one's launched. It could, but it won't. Caught by Sealer, and that'll end the inning. We move to the bottom of the 5th.
And Sealer's had her work cut out for her in left field, made a couple of nice plays. Obviously, the highlight reel catch that you will be seeing on social media shortly. Earlier, gets a towering fly ball to her section of the outfield, makes the grab, retires the Wildcats without a problem. And Michigan doing a really nice job pitching in this game. both teams kind of anemic offensively. Northwestern only hitting 4 for 17. That's good for a .235 average. You look up and down their lineup, and most of their hitters average, I think if you took a team average, it'd be closer to 300. So Michigan holding Northwestern below what they traditionally do, and they've also done a good job, besides those 2 homers, at limiting runners who have been on base. Neither team has scored a runner while they've been in scoring position. Northwestern has only gotten 1 hit out of 14 attempts by both teams. Northwestern has the only hit with runners on base at all. So it's been a very lackluster offensive performance for both sides. The pitchers have pitched well. And now Ella McVeigh, the 9th hitter for Michigan, will step in, trying once again, as she was in her last at-bat, to try and turn it over to the top of the lineup by getting on base. She was retired on a hit to left field earlier. That was in the 3rd inning. Now steps up in the bottom of the 5th with a chance against the incumbent pitcher Danielle Williams to start the inning off well for Michigan.
There's been a lot of back and forth from the Northwestern bullpen, but nothing seems to actually be going on in there. McVeigh will run at a strike. Strike 1. Shows bunt, pulls back. Good thing, because that was high for ball 1.
And that's the first time we haven't seen McVeigh run at the ball in an attempt to slap it. She stuck back in the batter's box, was ready to turn on a pitch, let it fly high. 1-1 the count on the sophomore. This has
been enough of a sickos game. We need some hits.
Swing and a miss.
Got caught up there on an off speed. 1 and 2. I don't know why I find changeup so much more satisfying in softball than I do baseball, but I do. Shows bunt, pulled back. Swing at a high one, foul. It's going to be caught by Zidak. Out number 1.
And McVeigh once again failing to turn it over to the top of the Michigan lineup. Sealer will come up to bat after her beautiful play in left field. Trying to get the first runner on base for Michigan of the inning. Only 2 hits in this ball game for the Wolverines. They've walked 3 times, so 5 runners on base, no runs. Needing a run here in the bottom of the 5th.
Pop up that's going to fall in between everyone, and she's going to beat out the throw. Just behind the pitcher's circle and in a bad spot for everyone on the field to get that runner on. Sealer really in the past, pretty much in the 5th inning, has been the MVP.
I don't know if I've ever seen an infield blooper like that just goes right over the pitcher's head, just goes down on the dirt before it reaches that second base.
There's some sports moments that just start playing circus music in my head. That felt like one of them.
It was a good recovery by Williams to pick that ball up and throw over to first, but better speed from Sealer.
Blair. Watch, strike 1.
And Blair's the only perfect hitter in this game. She's got a stolen base, a double, and a walk. Everybody else has been retired at least once. Some have walked. Some have gotten hits. But she's the only one without a recorded out.
She launches one foul, but it'll go right into the first row of the bleachers. 0-2. Waiting for our next pitch. It's going to be just a bit outside. A little bit of grief from the Northwestern dugout, but I think at this point everyone has lost any right to complain over that pitch.
And
you're not getting it.
Good discipline from Blair on the 0-2 to lay off. Rewarded with her patience by an outside pitch. Now she gets hit on the foot.
And that one looks like it hurts. She's hobbling a little bit, but she'll run to first.
Sealer advances to second, and another situation for the Wolverines with 2 runners on. In both of their previous attempts with 2 runners on base, they left the inning without scoring a run. So a big shot here for Ellie Mattia, who's walked and had a ground out to first base. Ground out to first base was in the first inning. The walk was in the third.
I didn't eat. I'm sorry, looking at the chat. I didn't eat before the game because I am bad at time.
Well, yeah, I came early and I went to the baseball game that was going on before this. That first pitch was at 4 o'clock. I had a hot dog and a cookie. That was very good. I'm going to go home and have more food after this,
I have this thing called horrific planning, and also I left my house at 4:40. That's not dinner time.
Yeah. What are we, old people? No, we're in college.
Am I elderly?
Now you got to wait till 9 o'clock to have dinner.
You know, the young people dinner time. Ball 1
That's Adam
outside.
Bressler
That's
dinner
Adam
time.
Bressler dinner time.
He texted me the other night at 8:30 saying, "Have you eaten dinner yet?" I was like, "Yes, I have, an hour and a half ago."
Obviously, yes, I have.
I do not want to go to Mr. Spots with you right now, Adam. Sorry.
Swing at second pitch. We'll get the out at first, but runners will advance with a chance to potentially tie this game up for Thole. I'm even an early dinner eater, and I'm not eating dinner at 4:40.
No, it's
I'm
like
just
what my
not doing
grandparents
that.
used to do. Here's Kiki Thole. She's walked.
I
She's
said
had a line
Thole's
out.
coming up.
You got to get back to it. This is a crucial spot. Runner on second, runner on third. Kiki Thole, the best hitter at getting runners to the plate. She hits .333 with runners in scoring position, but I've said it throughout the broadcast. She has that tremendous power, and wouldn't it be a great situation for a 3-run shot?
Left fielder all the way back.
Well, yeah, if Thole's going to send one and put one in play, it's going to be pulled to left field. And if it goes out, it'll be hit to the same spot that Kansas Robinson hit it for Northwestern and her at bat. They're aiming to hit the Northwestern bullpen. That's what Thole wants.
Just thunk somebody right on the head.
Bullpen catcher's in the way.
First pitch, off speed, low, almost in the dirt. Ball 1.
And if Michigan, with all their chances they've had with runners on, if they're unable to put a runner across, only allowing 2 runs to this Wildcat team, that'll be a disappointment.
Another low, off speed, ball 2.
They're trying to deliver only the second conference loss for Northwestern on the season. It would be it would be the biggest win of the year for Michigan, with the Wildcats being a ranked squad.
Outside, ball 3.
And I think you got to give the green light to Thole here. Even though it's 3-0, you need a big swing. A walk that puts her at first really doesn't do anything, and I'm surprised they're not intentionally walking her.
They're going to call that, even though it was probably a bit inside. Strike 1, 3-1 count.
And it looked like Thole was ready to toss her bat and advance to first. If I'm her, I'm swinging away.
Oh, yeah. Something nice and juicy's coming up. And she's going to launch one over the shortstop. And both runners are going to score. This game is tied 2-2.
What did I say? We were waiting for Thole to turn on a pitch. She takes the 3-0, swings on 3-1.
I think that was a primal scream
and,
from Thole.
Well, you tie the game against the number 17 team in the country, I believe. And that's what you do. It was only a single, but it scored 2 runners. It was a powerful enough hit just over the head of the shortstop, Maeve Nelson, into left field. And with Zedak playing so deep towards the warning track, she had to run up to field that ball, wasted a bit of time, allowed the runner on second to score along with the runner on third. Michigan ties it up, and Milena Livingston, who already is a single in this game, comes to the plate. Kiki Thole on first. Michigan records the first hit with runners in scoring position in this game, and they equalize it.
The speed from Blair brought her home, as there's a little half-checked swing, but it fouls for the first strike and the first pitch of Livingston's at-bat. And just like that, this stadium, ballpark, whatever you want to call it, has come alive.
It's rocking.
That made you sound like an old person. In the dirt, ball 1. Is that somebody I know? I don't know. It might be. Inside, maybe even a bit high. Livingston is not the tallest. Ball 2.
Stands at 5'2", and with Williams kind of lacking some control here, Northwestern is warming a pitcher in the bullpen. We don't know the number just yet. She went out there with her coat on. As Livingston takes ball 3 high, 3-1 the count. We'll see after this at bat if Livingston's able to reach. If Williams is taken out of this game, up until those 2 runs that scored, she's been pitching a spectacular ball game.
Only problem with Williams' game so far is we've seen just those little pockets of her being a bit wild, and unfortunately the Wolverines have taken advantage here in this 5th inning as we get a strike 2 call. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The bottom of the 5th, 2-2 is our score. Swinging, toss it to second for the quick out, and they'll get there just ahead of Thole. That'll end the inning, but the Wolverines tie it up with a big single from Kiki Thole. We'll head to the top of the 6th. After 5, been about an hour and a half. How would Rob Manfred feel about this?
It's not moving as fast as he'd like. I mean, maybe he gets some ball boys and ball girls in the game. I don't know. He's thinking about cutting that position if Major League ball people do not do a good enough job, fast enough job, doing their job.
Immensely silly. Rob Manfred has also apparently gotten to college football, as we're going to be speeding things up there too.
That is the wrong way to speed things up because, well, we didn't even say what it was. But now, on first downs, in college football previously, the clock would stop on each first down. That won't be the case anymore. It'll be similar to the NFL, where the clock runs even with a first down. They're trying to speed up the game. College football's play counts routinely will be higher than the NFL as the game time is longer. But a lot of that has to do with just the sheer amount of commercials you see when games are broadcast on Fox or ESPN or ABC. I mean, if you sat in Michigan Stadium for a football game, those media timeouts are killer, especially in the cold. It's terrible. So much with baseball, college football moving to a system where they kind of want less time on the field, which I don't know how to feel about it. Yes, the games do need to be shorter, but the commercials are the culprit to me. That downtime in between innings and in between series is really, I think, what kills interest. But
will this keep fans in Michigan Stadium through Mr. Brightside?
They're going to be.
Who can?
They're going to be good, but first 3 weeks they're playing East Carolina, UNLV, and Bowling Green State. So I don't know how many fans are going to stay in the stands for the fourth quarter.
Zdak will watch strike 1 into the glove. I will be at maybe one of those games.
I will be in the press box for all of them.
I'm going home.
Or actually, I get to attend one as a student.
High, ball 1. See what if Michigan Athletics wants to keep more people in the football stadium, they need to do more guess the years. I think they just need to do more guess the years in general. I'm such a fan of that.
It's so pretty good at it, but there's always one that gives it away. Zdak, big hit up the middle. Just a single.
I've never gotten one wrong. My craziest, I got like one in the 80s off of the year that Phantom of the Opera opened.
Yeah, no, the last one's always like, what year? It's like 2 obscure things, and then it's like, what year did World War II happen? Or like, what year did World War II end? Everybody knows
last
it's
year
1945.
they did like every Star Wars movie, and I know the release dates of all the Star Wars movies. That was very easy.
Yeah.
As Kansas Robinson, responsible for one of Northwestern's 2 home runs, steps up to the plate with a runner on first. Strike 1. She'll watch it.
And you've seen all these sports, the pitch clock has come in Now time keeps moving after a first down. And we're putting
Ball
advertisements on jerseys. It's just kind of a dire situation. It's pretty bleak to me. Everything's becoming commodified. I really enjoyed going to the Frozen Four because it seemed like that was the last really high-level college athletics that isn't really touched that much by greed. But
Big swing.
It's all getting there. 1-2 on Robinson. I think that a lot of these leagues and these conferences are looking towards the quick money rather than the investment in the future. And that's, I think, going to lead to a lot of their downfalls.
The institution of college sports is
2-2 on Robinson.
wild.
Because you see a sport like soccer that doesn't have many commercials, and even hockey doesn't have that many commercials. A lot of research has gone in. Major League Soccer is quickly overtaking the NHL and MLB among younger demographics. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Jessica LeBeau, retires Robinson.
Half-checked swing, but doesn't matter because you went far enough. Out number one.
I think that those leagues and those commissioners in particular, Rob Manfred and Gary Bettman, have been kind of recognized as chasing the dollar signs rather than looking towards the future. And we'll see those decisions rear their ugly head in the future.
Bunt caught by LeBeau. And they're going to give her the out. Say that she got there just ahead of the runner, and that was an impressive play by LeBeau, if it stands.
Really good play, and I think it will because it looked that Nader chopped that ball into fair territory. LeBeau picked it up off the one hop, fired it to Livingston, and that ball got there in time for the second out. Michigan has looked much better defensively and pitching-wise since LeBeau has gotten into the game. It's not that Durkowski pitched a bad game. She only allowed 2 runs, and they were both on 2 solo homers. But
Quicker.
it's been quicker, and with the offense kind of picking up their end of the bargain on the other side of the plate, it's led to more mojo for the Wolverines. But now the Northwestern hitters will have a visit with their coaching staff. I think that was called more of a Northwestern timeout because I don't really see why LeBeau would need a visit.
Unless there was an injury, but doesn't seem like that's
it. I think
what's going on.
Northwestern's conferencing with their hitters. This is a big at-bat with a runner on second.
Looking to take the lead once again after Michigan just tied it. The bottom of the 5th with a big hit from Kiki Thole.
And it's going to be a pinch hit opportunity for Kendall Peterson.
That's confusing. There's 2 Kendalls now. You're going to get us confused because one of us is clearly
she's
playing.
from close enough to you, Barrington, Illinois. I don't know if that's Chicagoland or if that's Southern Illinois, but she's a senior, steps into the box, pinch hitting. She's a very good hitter, but has only taken 18 at-bats this season, although her triple slash is 333, 429, 389. She's 571 with runners in scoring position, 400 with 2 outs, and she does have Zedek on second base.
Disputed ball 1. Some grief from the fans. Also, that is Chicagoland,
So it doesn't
and
count.
therefore is likely a Cubs fan, and I will not claim. Fouled off, strike 1, 1-1 count, 2 out, runner on second, 2-2, here in the top of the 6th. For just joining us, Oakland A's. I don't know. That's what this broadcast has been.
You got to work it in to not be annoying because I think the comment
you've been
section isn't
annoying.
really liking it. So
Fouled back, strike number 2.
I've held my tongue on it now unless there was a very big opportunity to talk about the team on the other side of the Bay Area from the San Francisco Giants that will, in the future, be playing in Las Vegas, Nevada, unfortunately.
That's a weird stance. She's kind of hunched over. She'll swing. Ground ball hit to second baseman. Throw in time. That'll be out number 3. And that'll end the top of the 6th inning. Move into the bottom of the 6th with a chance for the Wolverines to take their first lead in this game.
Big play by Indiana Langford. to spear that ball on the move. A nice moving throw to the first base side. Retire that third batter of the inning. And Langford will lead off to start the bottom of the sixth. Michigan with a shot to take the lead for the first time in this ball game after tying it up in the bottom of the fifth. They'll go Langford. The pinch hitter, Erickson, we'll see if she remains in the game after subbing in for Carcaboro. Audrey LeClaire batting eighth. Should be the third of the inning.
Honoring senior Lexi Voss tonight, though she's not in the game, with some fun facts.
She's a fan of the Chicago White Sox. I wouldn't say the same about myself.
And her favorite book, I think, is like a really depressing book about medicine.
I don't know about that.
Which we should have known, I guess, when it came to answering her major
okay,
question.
so it's not her favorite baseball team. It's her favorite pro sports team is the White Sox.
We all have
flaws.
I don't think you. I was gonna say you don't get to talk.
No, but the White Sox are like historically worse than the Tigers, and the Tigers were good when I was a kid.
Voss is from, I'm assuming, the Chicagoland area.
She is.
Okay. Well, it's better than the Cubs. Could be the Cubs.
I would be a White Sox fan.
I'm glad she's not a Cubs fan. I'll tip my cap to that.
Palos Park, Illinois.
No strike call on that one. That seemed pretty perfect, but it'll be ball one. Either that was a miss or this is just like the weird angle depth perception thing again. High, ball two.
And Danielle Williams still on the mound for Northwestern, even after her tough inning in the fifth, staying up to face the bottom half of the Wolverines lineup.
85 pitches.
And we've seen some movement in their bullpen throughout the game.
Another high pitch for ball three.
The head coach duo of their twins, both graduated at Providence College in 1995. Kate Drohan, the head coach, Carol Drohan, the associate head coach, electing to keep that starter in there.
I just wouldn't work with my twin.
And they have been at Northwestern for 22 years together.
Off speed. Dropped in for strike one. Bit of relief for Williams. Another low off speed that they're going to give her, and it's now a full count after Langford had it up 3-0.
Langford hitting .714 when leading off an inning. We'll see if she puts one in play here in a 3-2 count.
She'll swing and miss. And a promising 3-0 ends up a strikeout.
Langford, grounder, a grounder, and the second grounder was a sack. And now striking out for the 10th time this season. Maddie Erickson does stay in the box after pinch hitting last inning for the Wolverines.
High, ball one.
Staying in there as the designated player, taking the spot of Riley Carcaboro. Erickson trying to get on base for the first time this inning for the Wolverines.
Launched, but it's going to be foul.
And just out of the reach of Zedak in left field. She was running, gunning to chase that softball down. Just hit foul ground before she could get over and make the catch, though. Erickson stays alive.
1-1 count, 1 out. High, ball two. Another riser. Hasn't really worked for her.
And the sun has
And that's probably going to be it.
It'll be it for Danielle Williams. We'll see who comes out of the pen. But I was going to say the sun has kind of peeked out to the horizon towards Michigan Stadium. It's still chillier out. We have a window just cracked open to give you some sound. All you folks tuning in, we're grateful for you on WCBN Sports 2 on YouTube.
Maybe it won't be it. Seems like
no. I think they're buying time for the reliever in the bullpen.
As we did see someone just run out there at the start of this.
And they have two arms moving. In that
I have a preference for who I want to see.
Northwestern.
So I can be annoying. The one from Missouri, so I can be annoying. Obviously.
But you already had a pinch hitter named Kendall.
So I can be doubly annoying. It's perfect broadcast.
And there's
for me.
a girl from Iowa City, Iowa.
Yeah.
It's Northwestern's your team.
Am I rooting for the Wildcats? No, because I only ever applied there. I did not
I didn't
go
apply
there.
I would never be.
I mean, I
caught
didn't even
dead
apply
in
there. I just toured
Evanston,
there.
Illinois.
No movement, though. We're going to start this at-bat back up, 3-1. I didn't even apply there. Actually, I just toured. That's when I still wanted to be a journalist. Comm major. Okay.
I'm doing communications in English. That's a journalism pair, but I am not doing journalism.
It's a low strike 2. Bit of an uproar. Don't insult journalism.
I will insult
My father was
sports management
a
instead.
Don't insult that either.
You make fun of business majors.
I'm not a
but
business major. And that's going to be strike 3 looked at by Erickson. A bit low, a bit inside, but 3-2 count. You cannot watch something that close go by. It's going to be out number 2 for the Wildcats, and that's going to be Audrey LeClaire coming to bat.
LeClaire grounded out to the pitcher and struck out in her last 2 at-bats. Hitting .241 on the season with 2 outs. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch.
Not a good take. I mean, not a good cut. Saw another unfortunate swing at a previous at-bat. Checked swing. They're going to say she did not go. Once again, not getting a lot of that ump saying that she did.
And Williams trying to get through this 6th inning to toss 6 complete innings, and maybe we'll see a closer type come in for Northwestern in the bottom of the 7th.
3 pitches away from 100, as that's going to be called strike 2, maybe a bit inside. A little bit of theatrics from LeClaire.
And I guess you could call Williams today effectively wild. She has only walked 3 batters, but she's let up a lot of pitchers' counts. She's just been able to get out of dire situations.
Slapped foul down the first base line, 1-2. It'll continue.
And I think I'd like to see LeClaire hit the ball in the air, or at least try to, in this at-bat. We've seen her hit a ground out before, and that one was just going to trickle to the first base side if it stayed fair. I'd like to see what would happen if she tried to pop one up.
High. Ball 2.
But it seems
Williams missing high.
It seems as though Williams is trying to throw risers in an effort to keep the ball on the ground from LeClaire. LeClaire does have 2 home runs on the season, which is tied for 2nd on the team with Livingston.
Swing and a miss at a riser, and that'll end the 6th inning.
And
Move
you
to
often,
the top of the 7th.
You often see power hitters, and I'm not saying LeClaire's a power hitter, but her offense mainly comes from the long ball if she is getting a hit. That high heat really tricks them into swinging and missing. You see it all over Major League Baseball. That 2-seam high fastball is a tool employed by many a pitcher in order to bait the batter into swinging. It's something that looks like it's going to be firmly in the strike zone, but it just sneaks up on you. High in the zone, you swing and a miss. LeClaire is done. We move to the 7th. Still a tie game. And with how the offense has gone in this game, we could see extras if Michigan is unable to walk it off in the bottom.
I need a walk-off. I am so hungry. Not that I'm not enjoying spending this lovely time with you, William, but
I'm ready to eat too. But
hungry.
Unlike you, I'm ready to finish this game on the right note. Which a walk-off would be the right note. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I just said I want to walk off. I think that's the right note to finish a game.
No, in the last, not the last bat and ball game I was at, the second to last bat and ball game. Tigers game, Nick Maton, 3-run homer in the 9th inning, walked it off at Comerica Park.
Nobody cares.
I care. The Tigers had 3 straight walk-offs and 5 straight wins, and then I went to the game where they broke that winning streak.
My team can't pitch.
And then they had the swag come back.
So,
well, what do you expect when you pay Miles Michaelis $20 million?
Okay.
And you're still employing a 48-year-old Adam Wainwright.
Okay. He's sang the national anthem. He's multi-talented. As Schellmeyer at the top of the order will start this game off. Fouls one into the protective netting.
And that is the first swing of the ball game we have seen from Skylar Shellmeyer. 3 walks, has only taken 2 strikes looking. All the other pitches she's seen have been balls, but she is ready to put her mark on this game more than traveling to first base on a free pass. She wants it all, folks.
Low. They're going to call it a ball. Seems like, once again, that's a pretty inconsistent call that may have gone Northwestern's way.
And Shellmeyer, I mentioned she wants it all. She only has 3 extra base hits on the season, 40 hits overall, so 37 singles.
Small
along
ball.
with the 3 walks she's drawn today. Definitely a small ball player. Trying to square up for a slap hit, lets it go by 2-1. Her triple slash stays in the same 50 points. 354 average, 409 OBP, 407 slug. That archetype of a pure contact hitter. Skylar Shellmeyer, that's why she's leading off today.
High, ball 3.
Aiming for her 4th walk today. We mentioned she's only had 8 coming into this game. That would mean she'd equal half of her season total walks if she can draw ball 4 here on a 3-1 count.
Doing it for the sickos.
It's a very, baseball's not real kind of outcome, but in a softball game. And she does. 4th walk of the game for Shellmeyer. 8 all year. She adds on 33% to that total in just 1 game. And has sent her on-base percentage over 410.
Nelson chit-chatting while they wait for Dole to walk back behind the plate.
And I think if Nelson wasn't a shortstop, they'd think about pinch hitting her in this situation. She's a 196 hitter now. She has hit a single in this game. She struck out looking her last at bat. But as a shortstop, you don't want to take out that defensive versatility, so they leave her in here with a runner on.
Strike 1. She'll watch it go into the glove. Top of the 7th. 2-2 is our score. Offenses on both sides have been kind of anemic, so like you mentioned, maybe extras. Hopefully not. Show's bunt won't go.
Whole infield for Michigan sprinting in on that play to try and corral whatever bunt came out.
1-1. Show's bunt again. This time she'll lay it down. Throw to first is in time, but it'll advance the runner.
Seen a number of sack bunts. That's the 2nd one of the game for Maeve Nelson. Advances the runner, and she does her job. Bit of ice hockey news for the Michigan Wolverines. They have lost their commitment from goalie Marcus Bronman, who committed back in February to be the freshman goalie after 5th-year goalie Jacob Barcheski transferred in from Canisius. Michigan now has to fill that 3rd goalie spot with Tyler Shea in the transfer portal.
Check swing gets foul tipped.
And with Noah West, I believe, already transferring, courtesy of the Michigan Daily's own Connor Eargood.
Big Tex, if
Big
you will.
Tex. All scoops all the time for the Michigan hockey team, folks. Look him up on Twitter.
He will bully you.
Only for a little bit he'll be on the hockey beat, but he will be on the football beat next year. Managing sports editor at the Michigan Daily.
Big swing. Shortstop covers it. Gets to throw over to first. Once again, though, it'll advance the runner with Rudd in the batter's box. Sometimes I start a sentence and forget that I'm speaking, so sorry for the awkward pauses.
Hannah Cady, a walk in the 1st inning, but she struck out
Rudd.
and
My bad.
flied out in her last 2 plate appearances. LeBeau trying to get out of the inning, avoiding a runner scoring from 3rd.
Grounder straight to first, and that runner will mean nothing as the Michigan Wolverines have a chance to walk it off.
And for the third consecutive time, Ella McVeigh will lead off the inning for her turn in the lineup. She did it in the fifth, and she did it in the third. She has not gotten in base in either of those plate appearances. A put out in left field, and then a foul ball fly out to left field. Her previous 2 plate appearances only hitting 160. That's her batting average when leading off an inning. Michigan needs a big hit from her to get on base and turn it over to the production line as close as you can get it in this part of the lineup. Ellie Sealer, Lexi Blair, Ellie Mattia, possibly get up Kiki Full. Try to walk it off here from Alumni Field at Hutchins Stadium.
This game has a chance to come to an end. What else has come to an end recently? Phantom of the Opera.
That's tough. I'm not a theater person.
Longest running show on Broadway.
What about Cats?
No. I saw it in February, and it had the silliest, goofiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. After like the saddest moment in the show. And it was funny. And I laughed, and an actor glared at me.
I'm pretty much the opposite of a theater kid. I actually had a couple players on my football team in high school do theater while we were playing football, and that was funny to watch them. They were like extras, and like I don't remember what the production was.
I'm a theater person by association. I don't know. I did some theater.
I used to be. My ex-girlfriend was a huge theater person.
I watched it a little bit. I don't
not
keep up
into
with
it anymore.
But
anyways, Northwestern. If Michigan could kick this series off with a walk-off win, that would be a big deal.
Set the tone for the rest of the weekend.
And it'd be their biggest win of the season to beat a ranked team, especially a team at the top of the Big Ten that has only lost twice in conference, or only lost once in conference. This would be the second time if Ella McVeigh and the rest of the Wolverines are able to clutch it up.
Showing bunt, pulls back. And we have a new pitcher for Northwestern, and it is Lauren Boyd from Union, Missouri. You're like, why do I care? I'm from Missouri. I love Missouri.
Missouri mentioned.
Missouri, St. Louis mentioned. St. Louis area
Adjacent.
mentioned.
St. Louis land. What is it? Just Metro St. Louis, or what do you call it?
St. Louis County.
Gross.
Thanks. Actually, I don't think Union is in St. Louis County. I think it's in Jeffco.
That's funny.
But close
Jeffco.
enough. Strike one, 2-1 count. Union, Missouri was a staple at my track meets. So, still close enough to my little high school.
Well, hopefully your high school won, and hopefully Michigan can beat up on the Union, Missouri native.
Low and outside, but strike 2 is called. 2-2 count for McVeigh. Still trying to get a slap down, even now in some dire straits.
A good band.
Thank you.
Folks, a little info on Boyd, 1.72 ERA.
And she'll slap it. That is a great slap. It's going to bounce right over second base in between the shortstop and second, and she'll get on base to start the bottom of this 7th inning with a chance for the Wolverines to walk it off. It's going to be Sealer stepping up. Sealer, who was the kind of lifeblood of that 5th inning with a great catch and then getting that inning started on base.
And McVeigh reaching for the first time today from that 9 spot. Ellie Sealer comes up. Lauren Boyd has a walks and hits per innings pitched of just above 1, so it's rare that she lets a base runner on, or lets more than one base runner on when she plays. She's been a good reliever all season as Sealer lays down a bunt that goes foul. 1.72 ERA. Has struck out 65, only issued 21 walks. Has allowed 5 home runs on the season, though. It's 73 1/3 innings pitched.
Lays a good bunt down. They're going to throw it to second, though, and they'll get the lead runner. Just a bit too much on it. They were able to get that throw turned around to second in time, effectively negating.
It's really effectively just an out.
Yeah.
And we've seen a number of good bunts in this game, but I wouldn't say that one ranks among the best of them. It was kind of just a straight pop right to the pitcher. You want that to die, more or less, either down either foul line, down either foul line or in between the pitcher and the catcher. Instead, that ball's momentum carried it right to Lauren Boyd. She fires it to second, which is not what Michigan wanted. Still keep a runner on first.
Lexi Blair watches an outside strike one. Little bit of noise. Not too loud here. Everyone's kind of holding their breath. 0-1 count, 1 out. Sealer at first. High, ball 1.
Blair has reached in each of her 3 plate appearances prior to this a double, a walk, and a hit by pitch. And she eventually scored in the 5th inning. One of those 2 Michigan runners to cross the plate that made it a tie game on the hit from Kiki Thole.
And she'll launch one. And unfortunately, a great diving play will send Sealer running right back to first.
And we saw the Canton native, Kelsey Nader, almost make a circus catch on a dive in right field earlier in the game, but she dropped it. That was actually a Lexi Blair double is what it turned into. They didn't score it in error. This time she gets payback, retires Blair. Ellie Sealer has to sprint back from second base to avoid getting doubled up at first. And now Ellie Mattia has to come through here.
Ellie Mattia up with 2 outs, hoping to avoid sending this game into extras. Take the first pitch high, ball 1.
And if you're looking to end the game on one swing of the bat, Mattia only has 1 home run on the season. So does not have the propensity to get it out of the yard. .348 slugging percentage for Ellie on the season.
Swing and a miss, strike 1. If Mattia can't deliver, we'll head into both teams' real kind of heart of the lineup to start the top of the 8th. With Cochran would be our leadoff batter for Northwestern, and if this was the next out, Thole, who tied this game up, would start the bottom of the 8th. Controversial outside ball 2, but no one here's complaining. Two, 1, 2 outs, 2-2 is our score. It's going to hit Mattia, and this is not where the Wildcats wanted to find themselves. With Kiki Thole, who is responsible for tying this game up back in the bottom of the 5th inning, now up to bat in a very similar situation with 2 on.
And she's been a clutch hitter all year for the Wolverines. Michigan has played 5 extra inning games this season. The last one, April 9th on Dollar Day against Illinois. Guess who walked that one off in the bottom of the 8th? Kiki Thole with a double to left center. She's already tied this game on 1 swing of the bat. She could end it here with just 1 swing.
Mattia and Sealer both ready to run as she'll watch ball 1. Could have been a strike call, but once again, not complaining. Ball 2 in the dirt. Not going to give her anything good to swing at here. They know that she's dangerous, and they want to make her work for it. And avoid ending this game here in the bottom of the 7th. She'll watch strike 1 into the glove.
Ooh, tough pitch to take from Thole. Luckily for her, it's only strike 1. 2-1 the count. She turned on a 3-1 pitch for her last hit. 2 RBI single.
Inside, ball 3 or high.
She had a bit of a hitch in her leg kick there. Lets it go by. Another 3-1 count. Dangerous spot for Lauren Boyd.
All it takes is 1. time.
And I'm surprised we haven't seen a visit to the mound by the Wildcat coaching staff. We've seen it in a lot of these crucial situations, but they'll let him play.
2 on, 2 outs, 3-1 to Thole. Ball 4 high. That'll load the bases.
And it'll bring up Milena Livingston, who's singled in this game already. She's also, Thole, second walk of the game for her. I don't know if that's the scenario you really want. Thole's a great hitter, and to just get her on first base, it does load the bases, but you want this game to be over with, and with 2 outs, bases loaded is not too much different from first and second.
Livingston is no stranger to walk-offs. I think I had a game last year that she walked off.
And she is a great hitter. Does have a single, has made contact on a flyout and a fielder's choice in her other 2 at-bats. She does not have a hit with the bases loaded this season, hitting 176 in 2-out scenarios, hitting 286 with runners in scoring position, but she does a tremendous job drawing walks, or at least getting on base by not hitting the ball. She's got 5 walks, but she's been hit by 7 pitches. Has struck out 20 times, but she's got good enough plate discipline to try and walk a runner in with how wild Boyd has been, hitting a batter, walking a batter. Maybe Milena can just sit on 4 straight pitches and send this one home with a walk-off, but we'll see.
That would be the perfect ending to this game.
We will see.
First pitch swinging, launched, bit bloopery, but the center fielder will get it done. With bases loaded, Wolverines can't deliver, and we'll head into the 8th inning.
And I think Livingston trying to play the hero there in that at-bat, swinging on the first pitch. I would have liked to have seen her take that first pitch, see if she could have gotten a ball 1. But sends it swinging, and Michigan will go to its 6th extra inning game of the season. They have won their last 4 extra inning affairs that they've played. The only loss came in their first game of the season in Tampa, Florida, against UCF in the season opener there. They lost that game 1-2 in 8 innings. So UCF walked it off in the bottom of their 8th.
LeBeau will stay in for the Wolverines.
But Michigan's played extras against Western Kentucky, Illinois, like I've already mentioned, Cal State Fullerton, that was in the LA area. And then they also played a 10-inning game at Ohio State, winning that one 3-1. So they're pretty experienced in extra innings. They have had actually a number of games cut short at 5 innings due to the mercy rule. But we'll go to the top of the 8th as they leave them juiced. And it'll be
Lady Gaga.
It'll be Nikki Cochran batting first for Northwestern. She has not played well in this game. Has had a fly out, a fielder's choice, and another fly out, so she's 0 for 3 today. Looking for her first hit. Hits .500 from the leadoff spot when leading off an inning. Gets on base around 44.5% of the time.
Like I said, flip a coin. First pitch swinging, fouled back. Strike 1. 8:14, just a little over 2 hours here as we head into extras. Not a lot of action in this game. A lot of walks. Strike 2 called. Swinging on pitch number 3. That's skied way up there. Sealer will make the catch. Out number 1 for Cochran. And up to the plate comes Zedak, owner of one of the 2 Northwestern home runs. First pitch swinging again. Fouled straight back, strike one. Good rise ball, but couldn't get couldn't fool her. 1-1. These headphones are starting to hurt my head.
Word.
She'll watch ball two. Some grief from the crowd. Could have easily also been strike two.
And Zedek does have that home run, but she has hit a single in this game. Her last at bat.
Fouled into the stands. 2-2. 1 out. Top of the 8th. 2-2 is our score. Another foul ball into the stands. The at-bat will continue. Whenever this game eventually does conclude, you can head over to listen to lacrosse on WCBN 1, or just WCBN Sports 1. Popped up, caught by Livingston, out number 2.
Big out to get Zedek out. She's been dangerous all game, but Kansas Robinson steps up, who hit a home run earlier in this game in the 4th inning. That was Northwestern's second run of the game. They haven't gotten much production outside of those 2 bombs, though. They're 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position in this one. Only 1 for 14 with runners on base. They got to go to work here with nobody on, but Kansas Robinson has shown that solo pop.
Outside, ball 1. High and outside, ball 2. Swing and a miss.
Big hack from Robinson. She wants to help end this game. They still got to get the Wolverines out in the back half of the inning, but a home run will help with how Michigan has only gotten their runs in 1 inning in this game.
Outside once again, that same pitch that's caused so much heartbreak for both teams. 3-1 count, 2 outs, nobody on. Basically the identical pitch, and this time it's a strike. 3-2.
Full count, 2 outs. Nobody on base for Northwestern, so they can't just let their runners go, but Robinson, I think, would have the green light to swing away in this scenario.
Fouled back.
And this is an out you really want. You don't want to let Robinson battle as she hits her first foul ball. You want her retired, especially to keep LeBeau fresh if Michigan's unable to walk it off in the bottom of the 8th.
In 2 at-bats, Robinson has a strikeout and a home run. And she'll get another one.
Strikeout, that
3.
is.
Yeah, obviously.
Not a home run.
I wouldn't be excited if it was a home run. Swing and a miss for Robinson. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th with Langford hoping to do some damage and put
And I
this
wonder,
game to an end.
as we move towards the bottom of Michigan's lineup, if we'll see more pinch hitting. Caracaboro has already been pinch hit for by Maddie Erickson, but maybe Maddie Ramey gets in, the lefty. LeBeau is pitching, so I don't know if she'd be able to enter the game, but she is also a lefty. As the righty Lauren Boyd still on the mound for Northwestern, even after the trouble that she let up in the top of the bottom of the seventh, the bases loaded situation. She did escape from that jam though. Northwestern needs her to do it again, this time against the bottom of the Michigan lineup. Wolverines hitting better in this game, I'd say, overall than Northwestern. Off the back of those 2 home runs, the Wildcats are staying in this game, but Michigan has struck out 2 less times. They've walked 2 less times, and they haven't hit those homers, but they've gotten hits when it mattered with 2 outs and with runners in scoring position. Made those clutch hits. Kiki Thole in the last inning was walked instead of having her be able to swing at a pitch and end the game in the bottom of the 7th. But bottom of the 8th chance for Indiana Langford, the freshman.
Hi, Charlie, if you're still here. More slap hitting, but she'll watch strike 1.
And Maddie Erickson remains on deck for the Wolverines, so she will continue to hit.
Strike 2. Already finding herself in a quick hole. That was weirdly southern for some reason.
You're from Missouri.
I'm from St. Louis.
Hi, Charlie.
He didn't say hi to you.
Actually, check the chat. You see otherwise.
Dang it. 1-2 count. She'll offer, but it'll be hit straight to the pitcher, and that'll be out number 1.
And Langford, although in her last at-bat she did put a nice ball in play, 2 at-bats ago, she grounded to the first base side, but it was a sacrifice hit that advanced the runner, to the pitcher side. Strikeout in her last at-bat. This time, a slap hit, can't get out of the infield. She's retired. Maddie Erickson steps up, who struck out looking in her last plate appearance in the bottom of the 6th.
Watch ball 1.
And Erickson has hit 2 home runs on the season. So she is a player, as well as Audrey LeClaire, who's on deck right now, of being capable of ending this game with 1 swing. She's able to hit a home run, and we'd love to see it here.
Big hack. Nothing doing. 1-1. A lot of noise from the Michigan dugout. Once again, right back to Boyd, and that's the 2nd out. 2 quick grounders to the pitcher, and not a lot of hope of this thing ending in 8.
She was very calm in tossing that back to the first base side, was Boyd. In steps Audrey LeClaire, the senior, the heart of this team. 2 homers on the year, 20 strikeouts. She struck out twice in this game. Need a big at-bat from her to the Wolverine faithful to attempt to end this game in extras in the Wolverines' favor. 11 RBI on the season for Audrey LeClaire. All she needs is 1 to lift the Wolverines to victory. It would be their 24th win of the season in 40 chances.
I don't think playing Panic at the Disco is going to help.
But maybe the beautiful sunset to the left of us will. The sky's turning a nice shade of pink, as the old saying goes. Pink sky at night, sailor's delight. You don't want
and now we're nautical.
You don't want to see a pink sky at morning, otherwise sailors take warning. So it's a good omen for the weather tomorrow, even though the weather hasn't been great today. Tomorrow will be a bit better.
I think it's supposed to rain again.
Well, I don't believe that. I believe the sailors.
I believe the little riddle.
Hannah George is going to pinch hit for Audrey LeClaire. They take the senior out, And send George up to pinch hit. Only 3 at-bats all season for the senior.
She'll watch a low, ball 1.
More of a relief pitcher is George, a utility player on the offensive side, but seen her more from the mound. Chance, though, to send this one home. The graduate student.
Low, strike 1. Big hack. 1-2.
George does have an RBI and 1 hit in her 3 at-bats. Has struck out once. Just such a small sample size that we can't draw any conclusions from it. All we know is that a graduate student wants to make her mark on this team in this season.
And she'll kind of float out to the second baseman. Let's play 9.
Why not? That's what the Oakland A's play. Play 9 innings.
There we go. It's been a minute. Maybe that's what we needed.
The offense hasn't been there since then.
Another Oakland Athletics reference.
Everybody, Charlie especially in the chat, drop your favorite Oakland Athletics reference, but that's all that I'll say about it. Anyways, as we move further into extras, something to watch is the assignment that I have to do by midnight. If that gets done or not, we'll see. That is something to watch, something for you all to watch on the broadcast.
Yeah, I need to be home by 9:30. I've got Major League Soccer to watch.
Oh, fun. I think the Cardinals are the MLB TV game of the day, if I remember correctly.
It's on at like 10.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that on my computer at 10, but I would
I'll
watch
just
it on
watch
TV.
it on Bally, I guess.
I don't get Bally. Bally Sports Detroit doesn't go on Hulu. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that I don't get to see 3 dog water teams. Anyways, we'll see if that assignment gets done. It's for Communications 370 Social Networks. I really don't want to do it, but I feel as though I have to. It's not a final. It's just something to boost my grade. And I've been slacking this finals week.
Do your homework, kids.
No, I would rather not be in school.
If there's kids listening. Whoa!
They already played this song earlier in the name of that tune. The contestant got it right.
But not you didn't hear it. Oh, you did hear it from me. I already sang it.
Yeah.
Something about this song I just can't resist. My bad.
Bon Jovi's never been my favorite. Kind of up there with like Billy Joel for me is like the music that my parents would listen to that I don't like, because I like a fair bit of what they do listen, or what they listened to when I was a kid.
These two broadcasters, this might be an all-time parents' music taste.
Yeah.
Crew.
I was listening to Zeppelin the other day.
Nader will watch strike 1. That outside spot that's been so tricky to get will be called to start this top of the 9th inning. The ump wants to go home. Strike 2, off speed. Great pitch by LeBeau.
Kelsey Nader, who has had a double in this game and a diving catch in right field to save an extra base opportunity from Lexi Blair that probably would have scored a run. Gets another hit. Single to left. And I've said it a couple times this game, but Nader is one of the Michigan players on Northwestern, and she is ready to go in this game. Canton's close enough to Ann Arbor where she would love, as a freshman, to stick it to the Wolverines and make some plays happen.
I thought you were going to say go home.
She's done that today. All weekend she's here, so.
Now batting Grace Nito, who I would like to applaud myself for pronouncing correctly all night. Lays a bunt down. No choice but to go to first, and the runner advances.
That was a rocket of a throw from Audrey LeClaire to Melena Livingston. Had a bit of trouble grabbing it, did Livingston, but able to hold on to the softball and step on the bag.
1 out.
Runner does advance to second, though. This is the second time today that Nader has been at second base. Scored on a double earlier, but did not advance on any plays.
Back to Schellmeyer, who is 0 for 0 today because she's only walked.
And only swung one time. And she could complete the cycle of walks today. If she was able to score on her next walk, she would have ended on a different base for each of her walks.
Ball 2. This is the lovely content you get when we get to extras, is walk cycles. Everyone suggests what I should get for dinner. 2-0 count. And that tricky pitch will continue to be tricky, and it'll be 3-0. Looking like we might get the walk. How many walks is this?
This will be her 5th walk on the year. She came into the game having only walked 8 times.
The fist of walks, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if we want to mention that on the broadcast.
I just don't have to. That's 5.
She's taken her base.
It's just 5.
No, they called that a strike. Never mind. Yeah, her OBP in this game has increased from 395 to 414 with her 4 walks.
And that'll do it. Ball 4. 2 on, 1 out, top of the 9th. Playing a full game of baseball, softball, wiffle ball.
And we will see, most likely, Maeve Nelson bunt this softball, because the last 2 times, or at least 2 times in this game she stepped up, she has 2 sacrifice bunts. She has a strikeout looking and a single up the middle.
Update the inning.
So I did it already. It's an interesting day for Nelson, but still not the most talented hitter on this team. She's going to go straight up, though. Take ball 1.
Some issue going on there between the ump and the pitcher. Get reset. Strike 1. Watched by Nelson.
And it's interesting to see her not sacrifice bunting on this play. I guess there would be a chance for a double play with 2 runners on. So she's going to go straight up and try for her second single of the game.
High. Ball 2.
Does have a home run this season. 2 doubles and a triple among her 20 hits on the year. So really in this at-bat, we'd have a possibility to see any kind of outcome from Maeve Nelson.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. Big cut. A bit too much. And what seemed like a perfect strike 3 will make it a full count. And there's a lot of pushback from this crowd.
And they were ready to explode. They thought it was strike 3. That's why so many of them were already cheering. But I think they called that a bit too high. And Nelson now faces a full count. She's walked 20 times this year, which leads Northwestern. But she has struck out 30 times as well.
Popped up. Livingston makes the catch, and it looked like there was going to be an attempt to run to third, but they'll hold up. Livingston throws across the diamond anyway. 2 outs with catcher Jordan Rudd.
And Rudd is 0 for 4 today. She's a big-time hitter who has not played well tonight. This would either mean she's going to continue on her streak of not playing too well, or she's going to avenge all the outs she's caused in this game, send one into play.
Grounded over to third, and risky choice to get the out at third pays off by half a step.
So
that'll end the top of the ninth.
So that is an interesting play. It's a ground ball, third base side. Audrey LeClaire snares it from her third base position, is in a foot race with Kelsey Nader, who's pretty fast. She's got 3 stolen bases, hasn't been caught stealing all year. And so LeClaire, instead of throwing it to second base to get the force out, chooses to run to third, does just barely force out Nader, and end the inning. Michigan, now in the bottom of the ninth, has a chance to walk it off. Starting off is Ella McVeigh. For the 4th consecutive time that McVeigh has been up, she leads off the inning. She's been up in the 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Her last plate appearance was a single up the middle. And she's capable of doing it again. She is a competent slap hitter, a contact hitter at the bottom of this Michigan lineup. She's been a great shortstop all year for Michigan. And with Lauren Boyd still in the game, I would expect, having already collected a hit against her, that McVeigh would put together a good at-bat for the Wolverines here.
Throw to second, last warm-up pitch, and get ready to hopefully walk this thing off. The bottom of the ninth. Let's get ready to rumble. McVeigh steps into the box, shows bunt, and we'll start this bottom of the ninth. Watches a low outside, strike 1. Showing bunt again, pulls back. High, ball 1. It always sounds so much louder than it really is because it's just the teams. Pretty silent amongst the crowd. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of tension.
Looks like McVeigh's going to try and lay down a bunt with nobody on.
Strike 2.
She's been showing bunt, and then she pulls it back for a regular slap hit.
I feel like that's not that different. She'll launch one, but it'll be in the range of the center fielder. Little slap hit that aired its way all the way out into the outfield for out number 1.
Got 2 folks in a boober out in left field foul territory waiting to take some of these folks home after the game. Probably having fun on the clock right now, taking in some softball. Ellie Sealer reached on a single in the 5th and reached base on a fielder's choice in the 7th.
Checks her swing. They'll say she didn't go. Ball 1. Ball 2. Run at it. Strike number 1. 1 out. Bottom of the 9th. They're going to say that's a fair grounder down the first base line. So it's going to be pretty heavily interacted with by Cochran. Out number 2. And up steps Lexi Blair, who has the ability to kind of restore the life in this game, as it's kind of died out for the Wolverines. No home runs this season, but it only takes 1. Everyone's first home run has to come from somewhere. She'll watch strike 1 right down the middle. Hi, Adam. She'll watch strike number 2 as well. We're getting into extras even for baseball territory. If Blair can't keep this half inning going, or put an end to this game entirely. Hi, Owen. Foul. Adam, don't talk about food right now. I'm not joking. Oh, 2. 2 outs. 2-2 is our score. Bottom of the 9th. And it'll hit Blair. That's her second hit by pitch. She'll take first base. And Mattia looks to keep this half inning alive.
And we're at a position here in the Alumni Field press box where we couldn't really see that pitch hit Blair, but she moved so dramatically backwards from the batter's box that it must have hit her. It just barely grazed her elbow, it looked like.
I can see the angle, but I can see the theatrics. Even though it wasn't really theatrics, it was probably genuine reaction. But strike 1. 2 outs. Blair on first. Blair's already stolen a base in this game. Slapping. And it'll bounce foul. Blair was going there. Seemed like that was tend to be some sort of hit and run, or maybe Blair just stealing. 0-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Window is open about 2 inches. In the dirt, Blair will go. High throw, no good. Couldn't hold on to the ball. Seemed like they were going to call it out originally, but
Blair, second steal of the game, 13th on the season, still has not been caught. Call her a regular Tim LeCastro. Baseball player so obscure. See if anyone pulls that one.
Nope. 1-2 count, 2 outs. And foul into the protective netting along the third base side.
Mattia has shown some extra base pop this season. She's got 6 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer. But from second base. Blair is so fast that a deep single could be able to score.
Low. Ball 2. 2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runs for both teams, and too many innings in this game.
Too many innings. We are in the 9th.
Haha.
You're the one who keeps setting it up.
That was a genuine laugh. That's just all the energy I have.
We really need to get dinner for Kendall, guys.
I haven't eaten since like 11.
Skill issue.
Your
Mattia
life is a skill issue.
just sent a ball down the third base side. Barely went foul on the side of the bag. Still in there, 2-2 count. Ready to send Blair home.
Swinging again. Foul again. Oh, and I'm really hungry, and I've called a lot of softball already. That's why I sound tired. And once again, right back to Boyd. 3 outs, that'll end the inning, and let's play 10.
And Boyd's had a number of those comebackers that she's fielded and sent to the bag. I'll offer the energy.
Excellent
Since
pitcher.
Kendall's so hungry.
Excellent pitcher fielding. Rare.
Gold Glover looking like, I don't know, Zach Greinke. Madison Bumgarner just got DFA'd by the Diamondbacks.
Cardinals.
Dallas Keuchel was a
Cardinals
good fielding
influence.
pitcher.
Is he still in the league?
No, he got cut by the...
That's what I thought. I've not heard that name
White
in a
Sox?
hot second.
But yeah.
Everyone drop your favorite, because Will would not stop going on about this at our meeting. Your favorite utility infielder.
Utility infielders are great. Look at who we've got on the infield for Michigan tonight. Milena Livingston, a single. Indiana Langford, a couple nice chances. Audrey LeClaire, who was pinch hit for, still remains in the game at third base. Ella McVeigh at shortstop has hit a single.
Spending a lot of good quality time together before we leave for the summer. This is probably the last time I'm seeing you, so.
Absolutely. The other thing, we've mentioned it's something to watch as we march into extra innings. It's almost 9 o'clock. I have an assignment due at midnight that I haven't even started yet.
Assignment countdown.
And in between that, I got to eat tacos. It's got to be done. So I might broadcast that. If you folks would like that, I can put it on WCBN 2, have a little vlog style thing. Maybe I come back out to the baseball field and, I don't
Eat
know,
them.
play catch like in Field of Dreams.
That movie made me cry.
That movie makes me cry every time I see it.
So much. Like my dad
when
was
Ray
watching it
Liotta
next
plays
to me.
catch with Kevin Costner, oh boy.
First pitch, strike. I was watching it with my dad next to me, and I was crying like he was dead.
Yeah.
He is not dead. Hi, Reagan and Vihan and whoever else is here.
0-1 on Hannah Katie.
I said there was a strike. I did. You know what? I do my job before
I'm just trying to
silly.
I'm trying to get
0-2.
you re-energized. We're in the 10th inning. We got to keep it up.
0-2.
Katie has struck out in this game in the third inning. Struck out swinging. Has a grounder, a fly out, and a walk.
That one's launched. And it's not gone. It stays in by the grace of God. But it's a double off the top of the fence.
And Sealer can't snare another deep catch in left field. Doesn't do it by the grace of God.
I got religious there. I'm sorry. That was the Southern.
She is.
I'm getting progressively more Southern as
it's
this goes.
the saying, and we've mentioned Big Tex on this broadcast before, Connor Eargood. One of my favorite things that he's ever tweeted is a flag that he found in the Upper Peninsula that said American by choice, Uper by the grace of God. And that's how all of us should feel about our folks that live above the bridge. We are just trolls down here in the Lower Peninsula. We live under the bridge.
Cochran up to bat. Like you said, not much is from her so far in this game, but like I've said, I think 4 times by now, it only takes one. Should I ask another Q&A question?
No, we're in the 10th inning. And you have a runner on second.
First pitch low, ball 1.
This is the ideal moment for the Adam Bressler invented broadcaster cam. Be in the booth.
Pull it up.
We got a window open about 2 inches. It's getting chilly in here, folks.
Outside, strike 1, 1-1 count. Big hack, fouled straight back. 1-2. Trying to play maybe a bit of hero ball there.
And Cochran, one of those big-time hitters for Northwestern that is still hitless in this game. 0 for 4, 2 flyouts. Fly out to the foul side. And a fielder's choice. She is yet to reach base with a hit. Same with Rudd, the catcher.
Grounder looked like it might be fair for a second, but rolls foul. 1-2 stays our count. Runner heads back to second. No outs here in the top of the 10th.
And it's just been a function of how Michigan has pitched in this game. Northwestern 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position, only 1 for 16 with runners on. They haven't been able to produce on offense.
2-2, ball outside.
And you want this out here from Cochran with Lauren Zedak coming up next. Or, excuse me, Angela Zedak.
Hard hit into, going to be a long throw home, and it's not going to be in time, as that's going to bring the runner in for the Northwestern Wildcats, and it's 3-2.
And that single was deep enough that it scored the pinch runner who had come into the game for Hannah Cady. That was Ayanna Lindsay, the sophomore outfielder who was substituted at second base. She gets in and scores. Cochran standing up with a double.
Still no outs. Heading into the 90-pitch territory for LeBeau. She's got, oh, never mind. Update. She is 1 pitch away from 100.
Yeah, she's been, I mean, this game has gone so long. She's been pitching since about the 5th inning. Or I think the 7th inning is when she came in.
There's a good chunk of Wildcat fans right above there.
Yeah.
Right above there.
And I said that this
travels well, not too far.
It's not too far, and this Wildcat team does have more Michigan native players.
Yeah, that might just be like someone's entire
family. That could
family.
be family because we mentioned that Nader is from Canton, which isn't too far away. There's Lauren Saborski, who's from South Lyon. Hannah Cady, who had hit that double previously, is from Clarkston. So a good contingent. And now pinch running out there at second base is Bridget Donahue, the freshman infielder, running for it was Nikki Cochran who had hit the double. And now Zedek steps in, who's a very dangerous hitter, a home run and a single, a put out and a fly out in this game, 2 for 4. Trying to send this runner home with no outs. First run since the 5th inning has been scored here in the top of the 10th.
0-1 count. Big hack. Just short. Caught. Got under that one. Flied it up. First out of the inning. Minimize the damage that Zedak has been proven to be able to do. Now they need to duplicate that for Kansas Robinson. First pitch, outside, ball one. Could have been a strike. Especially this late into the game, you almost think you're opening up the zone a little bit, but we have not really seen that. Big swing and a miss. 1-1. Hits are 7-5 in favor of the Wildcats, 8-5 in favor of the Wildcats. Updated as I said that. Ball two, outside. The outfield scoreboard is a bit behind, and it's making me feel like a crazy person, because I know there are 2 balls. That'll be strike number 2. Robinson watches it into the glove. A little funky movement on that one. Looked like it may have been a ball, but kind of swerved back in a little bit. 2-2, 1 out. Runner on second. And big swing and a miss for strike 3.
Now with 2 outs, that runner on second will be stranded unless a hit can be made by Kelsey Nader, who does have a single and a double in this game. But Michigan really needs to get out of this inning, not allowing more than 1 run. They will have Kiki Thole, Milena Livingston, and Indiana Langford up for their half of the 10th to try and win this game and avoid losing in extras 3-2.
First pitch is a ball. Weird movement on that one again.
And Northwestern getting a large amount of their production from the back half of their lineup. Zedak in the 6 hole, 2 for 5. Robinson 1 for 4 with a solo homer. Nader 2 for 4. Swings and misses at the 1-0, 1-1. Nito has walked. So with Rudd and until that double from Cochran, both of them were combined 0 for 9 coming into Cochran's last at bat. Much of Northwestern's production has come from their 6 through 9 hitters.
Low, ball 2.
And that just speaks to the depth of their team, having only lost 1 game in conference play. They have talented hitters up and down the lineup. Haven't done well in non-conference play. That's why they're ranked only number 17 in the country. But in this Big Ten, they're a powerhouse.
Low, ball 3. 3-1 count, 2 outs, runner on second. Do not want to get another runner here.
And with LeBeau now at 106 pitches in this game, she's thrown 6 1/3 innings somehow. Came in relief in the 5th inning for Lauren Durkowski.
They're going to call that outside strike 2. Full count, 2 outs.
LeBeau getting the starter's workload in this game. But that run that was allowed here in the top of the 10th off of 2 doubles has been killer.
Big hack, no good. Another swing and a miss for LeBeau to end the top of the 10th. However, Northwestern does get 1 on the board, 3-2. Northwestern leading going into the bottom of the 10th.
And Nader, for the 2nd time today, punches out. Strikeout looking earlier in the ball game. Strikeout swinging here, and Kiki Thole, big power hitter, has a chance to equalize it and keep this game going, or get on base and have somebody send her home.
The best song in Star Wars is in the prequels. It's in Attack of the Clones. Sorry, just answering or adding my 2 cents to the chat. It'll be Kiki Thole. Boyd stays in to pitch.
That was the first time you've ever watched Star Wars, Owen.
I don't believe that. Owen, don't
That can't
even
be
wish that
possible.
into the universe. Wait till you get to Attack of the Clones. It's unironically my favorite. So goofy. Yeah, learn how to spell false, and then my opinion can be debated, but it's not opinion because I'm right. It's Across the Stars. It's the best song of Star Wars. No criticism. Let's play the bottom of the 10th. Kiki Thole.
Lauren Boyd still in the game, has gone over 50 pitches, 51 in 3 innings.
Responsible for both of Michigan's runs. First pitch swinging over the head of the first baseman. It's going to roll. She's got a chance to go for 2, and she will. Slides in safe as the ball nearly rolls towards the out of the other foul line. Maybe would have taken third if she had time to get up in time. She starts this game. This inning with a double.
And Zedek, really nice play to keep that ball from traveling into foul territory on the left side. Thole could have reached third if she let that ball go by her. It'll be a pinch runner for Thole at second. Janelle Alakwa, the freshman infielder, pinch running. Wolverines electing to get faster on the base paths. Milena Livingston has a single in this game. She'll step up to the plate and try and send Alakwa home with one swing of the bat.
Get a pinch runner in there. Gonna get a mound visit in here. No change, just some motivation.
I will say, whenever a game goes to extra innings, I want it to go like 19.
That's because you're sick in the head.
Because that's pretty funny. If you want to go, you can go. I'll take
I'm not going to go. I'm not a coward.
I got to take this board home anyways with a busted wheel.
Yeah, you have fun with that.
So I got to be back at Ray Fisher Stadium at 2 o'clock tomorrow for a baseball game.
Inside. Ball 1. I'll call a 20-inning softball game if it's at UCLA.
When the Mariners, when the Mariners and the Guardians played an 18-inning game in the playoffs last season in MLB, that was really fun.
Low, ball 2.
And it was scoreless.
Runner on second. Swinging, foul down the third base side. Looked like it was going to drive the runner home, but just a couple feet foul.
A big swing by Livingston to left field, unlike the rest of them, unable to get on base.
She'll watch an off-speed strike 2 into the glove. 2-2 count. No outs. We're in the bottom of the 10th. Outside. Ball 3, full count for Livingston. Foul.
Livingston, the senior graduate student, battling in this at-bat. A number of foul balls, staying alive. No outs with a runner on second base. And down 3-2, Livingston's got to get on. And a deep single would probably score Alakwa to tie it and keep us going, keep us moving in this game, avoiding a loss for the Wolverines.
Ball 4. 2 on, no outs.
And the winning run is now at first base for the Wolverines, no longer just having the winning run at the plate. It'll be Indiana Langford, who's had a number of close calls here, needs to get this ball out of the infield. The Wolverines cannot have a double play or potentially a triple play ball that stays where any of the infielders can grab it. They're playing in. Very much in is the Northwestern infield.
Slap attempt that they're saying was not foul. I thought that bounced off the top of the bat, but apparently it didn't.
I think it hit the bat of Langford, but hit the head of the catcher. So since she touched it, it is a fair ball in the same way that if you dropped a foul ball trying to go for the out,
Technicalities.
it would be in play. So now it's runners at second and third for Michigan, and Langford with a single could send us home. Now, this is a game that Michigan's just scrapped out. Those 2 home runs for Northwestern jetted them out to an early 2-0 lead. There's a mound visit going on right now.
Getting loud.
And Langford, 0 for 4 today, but does have a sac hit, a grounder, 2 grounders. One was a sac hit, a strikeout as well. Like I said, has a number of close calls, 2 groundouts to the pitcher. But Michigan is scratched and clawed. They're only 6 for 32 in this ball game. 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, but Northwestern is 1 for 16. So the pitching has done a great job limiting the Wildcats' offense. The offense for Michigan needs to come through.
Foul. Another slap attempt, but tips off the top of the bat. 1-1. Oh, I think they're saying that it just did not touch her bat on that previous pitch.
Interesting. I thought it heard that it did.
I would have sworn it did.
It might have hit the helmet, though, of the catcher. Rudd.
Outside, strike 2. 1-2 count, no outs, 2 on, second and third for Langford. Foul, nearly takes out the legs of her coach.
And another tough at bat from Langford, but she's got to put this ball past the infield. The Wolverines can't have a double play, but they do have first base open.
Boyd with nearly 60 pitches.
So with first base open, the threat of a double play is kind of neutralized, but still, you don't want anything dangerous coming off the bat of Langford. Still the possibility of a good single that gets past the middle infielders.
And that one they'll send home, and she's going to be tagged out, and Langford's going to get not caught in a jam because she'll just run it back to first. Runners at third and first with 1 out as a runner at home was tagged out.
So Langford did get into a pickle trying to go from first to second, but I think that the second baseman, or actually it was Maeve Nelson who came all the way over from shortstop, was stuck in between first and second, was thinking that if she threw back to the first base side, the throw was inaccurate. Melina Livingston would try and score from third since there were no outs to begin with. I'm surprised that Michigan sent the runner home at all, because it was pretty clear from jump that whoever chose to run from their base was going to be called out. So I thought maybe they play for the force, but maybe they were looking for an error on the throw home. In any event, it's now runners at the corners instead of runners on second and third. The pinch runner for Thole, who was Janelle Alaco, is thrown out at home. It's now Indiana Langford at first, who reaches on a fielder's choice, and Melina Livingston at third, who had reached on a walk.
Long conversation.
And I think
at home
that the Michigan coaching staff is trying to tell Maddie Erickson where to hit this softball.
Over the fence would be preferable. Time.
Mentioned it before, Erickson does have 2 home runs on the season, 3 doubles, has struck out 22 times, though, only 5 walks. So this is most likely going to be a 3 true outcome kind of at bat, or at least that's the process going into it. Only 23 hits on the season to those 22 strikeouts.
Big cut, fouled, strike 1.
And only 10 RBI for Erickson.
Da 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 da. They were offbeat. Outside and high, ball 1-1 count, 1 out. Strike 2. Watched. Steps back into the box. 1-2 count. Big swing and a miss. 2 outs for Audrey LeClaire, who's been taking a couple big hacks trying to play hero ball. Let's see if it pays off.
And LeClaire has struck out twice. Her last 2 plate appearances were strikeout swinging. She had a ground out to the pitcher in the 2nd inning, but she is capable of hitting the long ball. She's capable of hitting for extra bases. That's what Michigan needs here. At least just a single to score Livingston and tie this game and keep it going. LeClaire, the senior, another shot to win this game for Michigan.
Watch the low, strike 1. 2 strikes left for the Wolverines.
And LeClaire does a bit better in clutch situations. She hits .296 with runners on, .267 with runners in scoring position, .233 with 2 outs. Her slash is .224, .262, .347. So not a great hitter. She's there to be a third baseman.
Big cut, and it's over. It's over the head, and they're going to go. They're going to send her. Throw coming in. It's going to home. In time.
It's an easy tag on Melina Livingston, or excuse me, that was Indiana Langford. Livingston scores, but Michigan ties it up, 3-3. We'll go to the 11th.
Great hit.
It was a deep fly ball over the head of the left fielder, Zedak, from Audrey LeClaire. Michigan sends both their runners home to try and win it at the plate.
And as
they could have kept a runner at third for Ella McVeigh, but
and as Owen Crane
11th.
said, let's play 11. I hope everyone listening really likes the sound of our voices.
And as that Michigan Lax game is on the other WCBN channel, I'll give some updates for everybody. 13:05 remaining in the third quarter. 8 goals for Michigan. 7 goals for Ohio State. As Michigan looks to rebound from a loss that was kind of choked away against Penn State this past Sunday. They want to even their record to 6-6. They had fell to 5-6 after. I mean, they've been 500 the whole season. This just in from Stat Broadcast: Matt Caputo has scored his 10th goal of the season for Ohio State. That ties it up 8-8. So we'll be given play-by-play, or not play-by-play, but just updates for that game as this one moves on as we get to the 11th tie game. Free softball, as the folks from the Michigan Daily are liable to tweet out whenever we see overtime in any sport that Michigan plays. Still watching the space of my homework assignment that needs to be completed.
Just get started on it right now.
No, I'm excited. We're in extras. Everything can wait. The Boober is leaving left field foul territory, everybody.
They're gone. They park right next to my house.
They're out of here. They might have just taken somebody home, is what I expect. Possibly they'll be back.
And Nito up to bat. She'll watch strike 1. Nito from Farmington Hills, Michigan. I don't know where that is.
It's north metro area of Detroit. I don't tend to go there that often. It's kind of tough to get to from my location.
Slapped at, foul, 2 strikes. Low, no call for the strike. 1-2.
And Nito, they say she's 0 for 2 today, but she's got 2 groundouts and a strikeout. It's just that groundout in the 9th inning was a sacrifice one that moved the runner. Still yet to register a hit today, though she does hit .467 when leading off an inning.
That tricky outside pitch again. Won't get lucky. 2-2.
And LeBeau is still sitting in there at 112 pitches. Obviously, the wear on your arm is less here in softball when you're throwing underhand than it is in baseball throwing overhand. Less damage to the elbow, but it's still a big workload on Michigan's second starter.
Fouled up. Play made by Livingston. We have our first out in the top of the 11th.
And as we talk about Michigan's rotation, there are still 2 games remaining in this weekend series against Northwestern. It'd be great for Michigan to get the first win of the series here tonight in these extra innings and not have them go to waste. But as we look to who could possibly start the game tomorrow, as Durkowski and LeBeau have both gone over 100 pitches today. Emerson Aiken has started a game this season. Hannah George pinch hit today, but she's more of an emergency reliever. She hasn't been pitching all that well this year.
First pitch, high, ball 1.
But we'll see how taxed Michigan's arms are for tomorrow.
Strike 1. Low a little bit. Still in the zone. 1-1 count, 1 out. Schellmeyer in the batter's box. 3-3 is our score. Hits are 8-7 in favor of the Wildcats. Both scored a run in that 10th inning.
10-8 Michigan in the men's lax game, folks.
So that pitch is fouled off 1-2.
10 minutes to go in the third. And Owen, I can't chat GPT my homework. I have to record a video. Okay? So, figure it out, buddy.
Low, ball 2, 2-2 count.
This is the most that Schellmeyer has been in danger all game. 5 walks facing a 2-2 count.
I think they need to strike her out. It's the final boss.
She
Fouled
wants a hit.
out the ballpark.
So, for those of you who have joined us here, Skylar Schellmeyer has had 8 walks all season. She's walked 5 times today, so increasing our total to 13. She's increased her on-base percentage from .395 to .419 just in this game.
Fouled back off the safety netting. Caught by LeClaire. It doesn't mean anything.
It's one of those weirdest. It's one of the weirdest statistical anomalies I've seen in a baseball or a softball game. Just to see a player who doesn't walk all that much do it 5 times in a row. Now, though, at 2-2, probably an outcome other than a walk is what's going to end up happening in this at bat.
And grounded to second. Well, over towards short, but second got it. Not in time. We'll get a base runner.
And the OBP is still going to go up with the infield single by Schellmeyer. It's not a walk, but she gets on base anyways.
Nelson. Now batting. 1 out. Hits now 9-7. Runner on first. Nelson is 1 for 3. Batting 194. I just smudged my glasses. Oops. First pitch swinging, fouled into the stands on the first base side. 1 strike, 1 out.
And we failed to mention that Riley Carcaboro is in at catcher, in for Kiki Thole. So just a bit of a different defensive lineup here. Thole's been playing so many innings, and she's probably going to play all weekend, so you want a different catcher in there to keep fresh legs. Other than that, the defensive lineup is still the same.
Low, ball 1. 1-1 count, 1 out. 3-3 is our score. If you're just joining us, you can see that. But
Smelling some popcorn in the air, folks. I'm pretty sure there's food up here.
I don't want to get up. Ground ball just over the hands of the shortstop, and it's bobbled in center field, but luckily there wasn't a good jump by Schellmeyer, and therefore it'll just end up with runners on first and second.
Still a real tough scenario. It was a tough play for McVeigh, the shortstop, but it was one that she should have made from her position. That ball just went right over her glove. It was kind of a tough bounce on the one hop. Travels into center field where Lexi Blair can't field it cleanly. Luckily, the runner for Northwestern doesn't advance.
Mound visit.
Still 1 out. Jordan Rudd's going to come up after Nelson registers that hit, her second of the game. 190 hitter coming into it.
Still,
2 base hits.
Still 1 out. Northwestern moves into double digits for hits.
And Jordan Rudd is somebody who's 0 for 5 in this game. She's got a fly out, a K, foul ball fly out, a ground ball, and a fielder's choice in her 5 at-bats today. But she came into this game as a really great hitter. An OPS, a really good one, around 950. 397 OBP coming in, 543 slug. That's fallen now to only about 900. See, she can get out of the slump, as that I think is going to be ball 1 just a bit high on the first pitch.
It will
LeBeau.
be. Once again, some protests from the crowd. Next pitch, big swing. Strike 1, 1-1 count. High, ball 2.
Ryan Cohen scores his 18th goal of the season for the men's lacrosse team, makes it 11-9 with 6:22 remaining in the third quarter. Sorry we can't get that score bug update on the scoreboard. I'm a bit focused on the game here, the game at hand.
Big swing. And by, once again, the grace of God, that one is foul. If it was a foot or 2 over, that would have been gone as it went over the fence into the bullpen. But it just veers foul.
I think that went over the bullpen.
Over
fence.
the bullpen. That one was launched.
The event staff had to go retrieve that softball, but yeah, that ball carried, just sneaks to the outside of the left field foul pole, stays foul. Rudd still in the box at 2-2.
And she'll hit one into center. That's going to bring a runner home. Long throw, not in time. Great slide by Schellmeyer to put Northwestern up 4-3.
What a gun from center field from Blair. Nearly got Schellmeyer out, but she has shown today that she is a really, really competent base runner. Base running in this level of softball, I mean, in Major League Baseball, you have a stat like BSR that quantifies base running. All that we can really tell how fast Schellmeyer is that she's a leadoff hitter. Those tend to be faster players, and she's 14 of 18 on stolen base attempts this season. So she is a very tough player to get out while she's running. Scores there, makes it 4-3. Northwestern trying to put away Michigan, but they want some more insurance runs, with Michigan having equalized it last inning to avoid the loss in the bottom of the 10th.
Still only 1 out LeBeau now at 127 pitches as that's grounded to first. Livingston makes the play at first. 2 outs.
And, I mean, you have to think about LeBeau getting fatigued at 127 pitches. That's ridiculous.
That was going to be my point before I got interrupted. Almost wonder if there should have been a pitching change.
And, I mean, Rudd got a hold of that ball that just went foul on the left side of the pole. She was going to knock one in fair eventually, and she did, scoring that runner. Some more contact led up on the at-bat from Hannah Cady. And now Nikki Cochran steps in, who her last at-bat after being 0 for 4 hit a single. That was the RBI that gave Northwestern the lead in the top of the 10th inning.
Pinch runner comes in as well. High, and they're going to say she went for it. That's probably the first contested call that Wolverines have, that either team has gotten to say that was a swing. And we'll start with strike 1, 2 outs. 4-3 is our score. Northwestern taking the lead once again here in the top of the 11th. Another high pitch, this time fouled back. Can't lay off it. 0-2. Outside, ball 1. Run out of witty commentary. 1-2 count. Fouled back again. Because why not?
Check the score of that lacrosse game. Another goal has come across for Michigan. 12-9, 5:46 remaining in the third quarter, excuse me.
Swing and a miss. That ends the top of the 11th inning. Lots of swings and misses for LeBeau. Her pitch count in the 130s.
Everyone, you must now look up after this game, not now, Edwin Jackson's no-hitter. I think he threw 149 pitches in that game for the Diamondbacks.
Ooh.
That's the most I've seen in a single game. But in this game, we've had 2 pitchers go over 100. There's been like 250 pitches thrown in this game.
Yeah, it's been 11
on
innings.
one side, and then on the other, so maybe 500? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Everybody drop your favorite color.
Or your favorite color commentator. Come on.
Boo. The man wants applause. Mine's gray.
Favorite color? I don't know. Fuchsia?
Okay.
Mahogany? Aquamarine?
Be normal.
How do you spell gray?
Depends.
How does it depend? What are you, British?
No, I just don't care. It's just whatever autocorrect tells me to do.
What a shame. Ella McVeigh is going to be first up for the inning.
Again,
for the 4th consecutive time. McVeigh leads off the inning. Michigan scores again, makes it 13-9 in the men's lacrosse game. 3:29 to go in the third quarter.
You are all insufferable. Showing bunt again. Very predictable. Low, ball 1. Now been sitting with us for 3.5 hours. Hope you've enjoyed it.
I'm happy I got that hot dog at the baseball stadium before the game.
I'm literally... Stop, please.
I'm just lapping you now.
Strike one. Little half check swing, but only kinda.
McVeigh has a single in this game. She got on base in the 7th inning. See if she can do it again and turn it over to the top of the Michigan lineup. I've been saying that all day because she's gotten up to lead off the inning 4 consecutive times.
Slapped directly to the center fielder. Out number 1.
Doing some score checks. 13-9 in that men's lacrosse game. The Oakland Athletics are down 3-4 to the Texas Rangers in the top of the 5th.
Don't care. Give me hockey.
Hockey, who do you want?
There's 2 games on right now. Just give me both of them.
Carolina 1, Islanders 1, 5:50 to go in the 3rd period. Boston up 2-0 over the Florida Panthers, 18:49 to go in the 3rd period. Very exciting time in sports. Playoff hockey, playoff basketball, this extra inning softball game, and I don't know, USFL football. That's not exciting. I don't even watch that, and I'm a massive football fan.
Ellie Sealer will watch a low ball 1. Swing and chop. Strike 1.
Loving the Le Dog shout out. I love that place.
Watch outside, strike 2. 1-2 count, 1 out. Maybe you need to stop calling hockey games then.
No, I don't want to. Now I don't have season tickets, so.
Outside, ball 2. Northwestern dugout wanted it, but won't go. 2-2, 1 out.
Real tough to lay off that pitch from Sealer. She thought about swinging, held back, stays alive. 2-2, 1 out. Michigan down to their last couple chances here.
In the dirt, full count. Fouled over the Northwestern dugout.
This game ends. Probably going to end the broadcast almost right away for Kendall's sake. So I will say that the rest of the weekend is filled with baseball and softball broadcasts. I'll be on the Michigan State baseball call tomorrow for WCBN. Hope you tune into that at 2 o'clock. Should be a lot of fun. Mitch Jebb, Michigan State shortstop, looking to go high in the MLB draft. Michigan, after winning a close one tonight, is trying to beat a Spartan team that's kind of ascendant in the Big Ten.
And I'll
season.
be right back here on Sunday to hopefully call a game that plays 7 innings. Ball 4 in the dirt. Sealer will take her base with 1 out.
And if this game is any indication of how Michigan will play the rest of this weekend against Northwestern, it's pretty good that they're this competitive. Now, Michigan is a team that's towards the top of the Big Ten Conference, but Northwestern is just so good. 15-9 in that men's lax game. Michigan leads. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd period.
Lexi Blair comes up to the plate. Boyd at 80 pitches. Came in as a closer and has now pitched nearly the length of a full game. Ball 1.
Same thing with LeBeau.
That was more like a middle reliever. Because if I remember correctly, Boyd came in the 7th.
LeBeau did. Or no, she came in earlier than that.
I'm talking about Boyd.
Boyd is 80 pitches.
Ball 2.
She's,
outside.
You know, the Matt Strom special. I don't know. Mason Englert for the Detroit Tigers. Rule 5 draft pick. Watch out for him, folks. He's a good. He's a good player.
Big swing, but foul. 2-1.
Blair's gotten hit with 2 pitches in this game. She's walked and she's hit a double. Also has had a fly out to right field. Done about everything you can do in this ball game, but now she needs to advance this runner sealer from first base. Keep Michigan alive.
Can I get a home run, please? Let's end this.
Lexi Blair has not hit a home run this season.
Okay. Magic moment. Low. Ball 3.
Are you ready for it? It's
Yeah.
coming. 3-1. Let's see it.
I'll be energetic when it happens. I'll use the last of my energy that I have left. They'll have to wheelbarrow me out of here. Mound visit.
I'm sure Zach Corson, who's calling the game for BTN Plus, who's just to the right of us, will be very helpful if we need to wheelbarrow you out of here. It's been a fun night in the press box. This crowd's still pretty strong here, getting close to 10 o'clock in the 11th inning.
Oh, and I just like walk-off home runs. I don't like when games end on ground balls. That's not bias. That's just wanting entertainment. Don't you want the games you call to be exhilarating?
Absolutely.
That was more directed towards the phantom of Owen in the comment section.
It's exhilarating. We got free softball.
Low. Ball 4. 2 runners on. 1 out.
That is Blair's 4th free pass of the day. Move over, Skylar Shellmeyer. Lexi Blair's walked twice and gotten hit by 2 pitches. This also is a double. Shellmeyer has gotten on 6 times, but I do not see what I do not see.
Mattia. 0 for 3.
Walk and a hit by pitch.
Low and outside. Ball 1.
And Kiki Thole does look to be out of this game. They did not keep her bat in there. Janella Lacqua will be inserted in her spot if she is able to come up following Mattia's at bat.
Low. Ball 2.
And it looks like Boyd's Control has suffered after pitching so many of these late innings for Northwestern, 85 pitches and counting. A bit wild, issued 4 walks so far tonight.
Big swing, fouled straight back. 2-1.
Michigan up 17-9 at the beginning of the 4th quarter in that lax game.
Who are they playing?
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Can't say they have it in the bag because they look to have it in the bag against Penn State on Sunday, and they blew that game.
Skied to right field. Caught. Runners will not advance. 2 out. Michigan is down to their final 3 strikes.
And Nader has gotten her work out there in right field. Makes an easy play on the lazy fly ball. Janella Lacqua, the freshman.
Oh, and I will make a post-game video that just says, this was a long game.
And Alacqua, 344 with runners on, 250 with runners in scoring position, 190 with 2 outs, slashing 274, 297, 323 this season. Only 62 ABs, 17 hits, does have 4 RBI, but has only walked 2 times to 10 strikeouts. Most importantly, she has hit a home run this year, so she does have that potential power. But her being a freshman, might just want to see the runners advance here. A home run wouldn't be, unwelcome. It would end this game. But Alacqua's all the Wolverines have here in the bottom of the 11th with 2 outs.
First pitch. Strike. Little low, but right down the middle. 0-1. 2 strikes left, 2 outs. 4-3 is our score. Just a bit out inside, I guess. 1-1.
And if Alako could draw a walk, that'd be good news for Michigan. Milena Livingston is on deck for the Wolverines. She's proven herself in this game with a couple of base hits.
Low, but they're going to count it. 1-2. Lot of outrage from coaches and crowd combined.
We've seen home plate umpire Tyler Barfus call that a ball a lot in this game. Calls that one a strike.
And the Wolverines are down to their last strike.
Maybe he's got to go feed his dog or something. I don't know.
Hey, if I'm suffering through, so can you. Fouled. Swing and a miss.
Just goes foul. Just goes foul. Thank you, everybody, for staying tuned through the close to 4-hour broadcast we're about to put out here.
I'll have more energy on Sunday. I'll rest. I'll rejuvenate. I'll eat. Be ready to go.
This is crunch time for the freshman Alako. Calls time. 1-2 count. From Rock Hill, South Carolina, that's a town I drove through, going to Charlotte for the Jumpman Invitational, which was broadcast on WCBN this past September. Or December, excuse me.
Swing and a miss. And that'll end this game with a whimper as Wolverines fall in 11 innings, 4-3 to Northwestern Wildcats.
Well,
death by 1,000 cuts. Wolverines failed to deliver a couple times with runners in scoring position, and it just was the final nail in the coffin.
And we'll see if this is the best shot that Michigan had in this series in the weekend to beat such a great Northwestern squad. Only one loss in Big Ten Conference play. This is what they're made out of. Only the second loss in extra innings for Michigan on the season, the first since their opening day game at UCF all the way back in February. They'd won the previous 4 extra inning affairs that they'd played, including the last one against Michigan State that was walked off by Kiki Thole. In this game, Thole is subbed out for the freshman Alakwa. In her spot, Alakwa strikes out in the last out of the game. That'll do it. 4-3 is the score here from Alumni Field at Carol Hutchins Stadium. Through 11 innings, Kendall gets to go eat now.
You got to go make a video.
I got to go make a 5-minute video for my communications class. Folks, for sticking with us all night, engaging with us in the comments section, we really appreciate it. Please stick around this entire weekend as we have a number of broadcasts going over the airwaves. It's the last broadcast for a few of us that are going home, or for me, tomorrow will be my last broadcast of the semester. I'll be going to the woods to New Hampshire for 6 weeks. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. You can find out. It's the New England Literature Program, 49th iteration.
Okay, wrap it up.
All right. I guess
we're talking about you going to the woods.
I guess I'm more relaxed than you now since I've been here for 4 hours.
We're talking about the woods.
Anyways, everybody, thank you for joining us. For Kendall Spencer, I've been William Gregory. Tough loss in extra innings for the Wolverines. They lose 4-3.
I love you all.
Good night, and go blue.